Samford Athletics and Alabama Cable Network bring you Touchdown Calls. Touchdown Calls is brought to you tonight by Coca-Cola and the Birmingham Coca-Cola Bottling Company, by AmSouth Bank, the Relationship People, by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama, providing health plan benefits to Alabamians for over 60 years, by Bell South Mobility, and by Armstrong Relocation. And now to take your calls and comments, Scott Griffin and Samford coach Pete Hurt.
Welcome into Touchdown Calls. I'm your host, Scott Griffin, along with Samford head coach Pete Hurt. And the Bulldogs win their second straight to even their record at 4-4. Tough one over the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, their second in a row over the in-state rival. They beat Jacksonville State 17-14 after beating Troy State a week ago, 25-14. When was the last time a Samford football team beat both of those teams the same year? I was 6 years old. 1966, 31 years ago, was the last time, and they do it with this young football team here. And really, the football team playing very well now, keeping themselves together after the fiasco at Nicholls State, where there was really a blown call that helped lose that game, then having to go on the road against Central Florida, a 52-7 game there. Boom, they turn it around, get an off week, and they got 2 wins in a row, and 3 winnable games here in the last 3, with a possibility of going 7-4. But you got to take them one at a time. And this weekend is Tennessee Martin, an 0-9 football team, and a team that Samford leads in the series 6-1 and has beaten 5 in a row. We got highlights from last week's game against Jacksonville State and much more when Samford coach Pete Hurt joins us. There's the next one, 12:45 on WDJC AM 1260. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. The phone number 888-823-9972, 823-9972 locally. We'll be back with Touchdown Call.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you doth love me most, Goneril?
Sir, I love you more than word can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty.
Regan, speak.
She comes too short. I find I am alone felicited in your dear highness love.
Now, what shall Cordelia speak?
I brought unto you a treasure of Coca-Cola, colder than a witch's extremities.
You rule, my fairest daughter.
Of all the places you'd want your mind to take you, the bank probably isn't one of them. That is, unless they're giving away $100 worth of free stuff. At AmSouth, we are. Come by or call us anytime at 1-800-AMSOUTH to open a relationship checking account, and we'll throw in $100 in freebies. Now why bank anywhere else? Relationship checking with $100 worth of free stuff from the relationship people, AmSouth Bank.
When my son was 3 years old, he fell and shattered his elbow. And I'm sitting in this waiting area waiting to check into the hospital, and I'm just frightened to death and nervous and scared. And I see all these people filling out all these forms. And finally I get up to the desk, and the lady says, do you have insurance? And I said, yes, I do. I have Blue Cross. And she says, let me have your card. That was the end of it. I was able to go be with my child. It meant a lot.
I need it when I'm working, when I play. My Chevy truck goes with me every mile of the way. Ain't that tough enough?
The Chevy S10. It's one tough truck, and only Chevy gives you so many choices. Regular cab, extended cab, and the one and only 3-door. And right now, an equipped S10 regular cab is only $179 a month. Hurry to your Southern Chevy dealer, where you'll get a tough truck and a deal that's tough to beat.
There are your next 2 home games for the Bulldogs. Elon is homecoming the week after next, and then Western Carolina to end it up at Samford Stadium. And good for the Bulldogs to even the home record here, I think, didn't we? 2-2 now.
We did. 2. I guess I got to stop and think about it.
Yeah, that's what I was having to do.
2-2 on the road and 2-2 now at home, and so 4-4. I guess that adds.
That's very good. Where'd you go?
Adds up 4-4.
College.
Yeah, I went to Mississippi College, but I think that adds up to 4-4, I believe.
Yeah, it does, and a good, strong performance, and a tough team. This team's won 1 game, but they're really better than that. And the rain was there and everything, but their quarterback, Montressa Kirby, is a hard guy to get a handle on.
Well, it is. You know, they're a good football team. You look at their schedule, and they've played UAB, the Southland Conference. They'd already played McNeese, Stephen F. Both of them are in the top 10. They played Middle Tennessee. They played Southwest Missouri. The Southland Conference schedule is extremely tough, and so they're a good football team. They're just a little bit of notch below some of those at the upper echelon of that league, and so you know, it wasn't your typical 1-6 football team, and I think that proved to be the case because Montressa Kirby scares you to death all the way down until the last seconds on that clock tick off. He can run, he can throw, and he really has impressed me between last year and this year as far as his passing. He was he goes from being an option quarterback to a throwing quarterback, and really made the transition extremely well.
But Montressa Kirby held to 13 out of 35 throwing, 2 interceptions, 102 yards. This is a guy averaging 260 yards, 6th in America, and he did a whale of a job on containing it.
Well, I thought our defense played extremely well. We came up with some big plays early. I knew going into the ball game we were going to have to play our best pass defense of the year, and we tried to go out there and we probably, except for blitzing and locking up man in blitz situations, we probably played 3 coverages, and we worked extremely hard on the guys knowing exactly who to cover, reading the routes, getting in the right position, and I thought our guys did a real good job. We got a rush on him at times, even though it was very difficult to get a pass rush in that mud we had out there. But defensively, I thought the big key early was the 4th and 1 that we held them on, and a couple of times when we got some turnovers, we held them defensively, and then offensively, I thought we came out of the chutes real early and looked real good, and then it was hard to get any continuity with the 2 halftimes that we had. Felt like we were in a hockey game where you got 2 halftimes. You know, we play, we get 10 minutes into the second quarter, and now, you know, lightning hits, and you know, we're inside for 51 minutes, and then we come back out, play 10 minutes, and go back in for halftime, and of course they went back in, and then when they came back out after the first delay, evidently they'd been in there drawing stuff up during the rain delay, and they started walking people up on the line of scrimmage, running people through the gaps, and so we had to adjust to that. I guess the negative was turnovers on offense. I mean, gosh, we had 5 turnovers on our offense, and normally you think if you've got 5 turnovers, you're not going to win a football game, but our players came back in the 4th quarter, you know, made a couple of plays, and we got the win.
As Warner Wolf would say, let's go to the videotape. We'll show you Rashad Brewer, the walk-on freshman for Montgomery, 426 yards his last 5 games. That includes 6 touchdowns. But here's the defense first. Fred Bishop, very active here. And he is, of course, the sophomore from Central. He has 87 tackles on the year, 73 in his last 6 games. And he's played everything from defensive tackle to middle linebacker for you.
Well, he had a great game. He plays middle linebacker in our base defense. Then you'll see him rushing the passer in our nickel package. And, you know, he's had double-figure tackles, I think, about the last 4 or 5 weeks. And he's really come on this year and played extremely well for us on our defense.
James Taylor, number 50, had a couple of sacks, although not that one there. He's got 6 on the year. And you see the pressure they put on Kirby and how dirty he got. That uniform was white when they started, and there was another sack by Taylor and Bishop, and a strong defensive performance for the Bulldogs in this game. And again, before we talk about the offense, 5 interceptions now in the last 2 games. That's after the team has had won the first 6 games. So starting to make some plays over there with turnovers as well.
Well, we are, and I feel like part of that goes back to when we had the open date. We went back and we talked about it before and just looked at our coverages and went back, and we had Joe Ackland that was a safety last year, now as a corner, and Jamel Manis that was a corner during 2-a-days, and now as a safety. And we went back and just, you know, tried to reemphasize using your eyes, who your keys are, you know, who you're supposed to be keying when the ball is snapped, and they picked it up real well and got better at it. And I think probably some of it too is having a little more confidence in what you're doing. And once you get a couple of interceptions, John Buchanan came up with 1 in the ball game. Joe Ackland came up with 1, I told them both after the game, I said, you can catch a football. You know, I was beginning to wonder if they could catch, but they came up with a good effort, and I thought I was extremely proud of our linebackers, secondary, you know, our whole defense, and a guy that's kind of gone unnoticed too, Scott, is Mike Williams, who's a nickel back in there that comes in there, actually plays the middle linebacker position in our nickel package, and he and Chris Wright and Nick Spina come in there, and they've done a good job. And really, it's the first time since I've been here we've had that many defensive backs that we could put on the field at one time, and so that's really helped, and those guys have kind of found their role.
Let's take a look at Rashad Brewer, who again 426 yards his last 5 games. That's over 80 a game for those of you keeping score at home. The walk-on freshman from Montgomery still going. 6 touchdowns his last 5 games, 5 on the ground. And you see there, he immediately saw the hole wasn't inside where it was meant to go. That's the great vision and speed, that kick-out speed he's got to get on the corner.
Well, he does. You know, I heard somebody the other day talking about a running back on a show, and they said either you have it or you don't have it. And
he's got it.
And he's got it. Whatever it is, he's got it. And that's with a chance to see daylight. And I thought our line did a good job. And, you know, Billy West continues to do well up there. And Scott Knox had an extremely good game, you know, several times that, you know, with a tall sweep that he did a good job for us. And one time blocked this guy all the way out of bounds. And so I thought at times our blocking was very good, and except for the turnovers, I think we probably had a pretty good day offensively.
But good to come out of that as well. Jake Rackley, a strong game, started slow, but did enough. 8 out of 14, 149 yards, goes over 1,000 for the year. Does Jake, who got knocked out of the Central Florida game, so basically did not even play much in that one, standing up, delivering. There's Brewer showing you the pass catching ability too, and Rackley with a very, very strong performance and a touchdown in this game. We'll see in just a minute.
Well, I thought Jake threw the ball well at times. He did have a little problem on the option as far as pitching the football, but you know, he threw the ball well. And the strength of our football team right now, our backs with Cadell Wright and Rashad Brewer and James Griffith and Jerome Russell, and we got to try to get the ball to them. And even in our passing game, this is a great job by Jake Rackley. You know, using his eyes, finding John Pointer. They had a breakdown in the coverage, and you know, anytime the quarterback can get outside of contain, it's almost like snapping the ball twice. And I have to give Jake a lot of credit right there. That was a big play. We were down the ball game, and you know, used his eyes. And I think defensively, we talk about if you can't use your eyes, you can't play. And offensively, with a quarterback, if you can't use your eyes, it's hard to find them.
John Pointer with the touchdown catch there, the freshman from Mississippi. Finally, Jared Cook hit the second field goal of the year for Samford. Hard to believe they're 4-4 with only their second field goal made in Game 8. But first, a huge extra point after a celebration penalty, a 36-yard extra point to tie it on that chewed-up rodeo field.
Well, I tell you what, I'll have to admit, I wasn't feeling real good about having to kick that thing, but from that distance anyway. And I'm, you know, we've worked real hard on our field goal the last 3 weeks, and kind of settled in on James Carr holding, and the snaps have always been pretty good, and we basically made the decision a couple of weeks ago we're going to go with Jared Cook kicking and Brian Holmes punting, and say, here it is. You know, it's your job to lose, and Jared has done a real good job, and Brian's been doing well punting as well.
And again, Jared, excellent on kickoffs, about 70–80%, just my guess, going into the end zone with no return. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some phone calls. Jeff and Lynn in line, 1-888-823-9972, 823-9972. It's Touchdown Calls with Samford head coach Pete Hurt. We'll be back.
With most wireless phone services, you can ride around without a care in the world until you try to go out of their calling area. That's when it hits you that maybe you should have called Bell South Mobility. We give you the largest coverage area in the Southeast. And with our prepaid cellular service, Bell South Mobility gives you even more freedom. Stop by today and ask about our prepaid cellular option. Bell South Mobility. Count on it.
I need it when I'm working. Chevy truck goes with me every mile of the way. Ain't that tough enough?
The Chevy S10. It's one tough truck, and only Chevy gives you so many choices. Regular cab, extended cab, and the one and only 3-door. And right now, an equipped S10 regular cab is only $179 a month. Hurry to your Southern Chevy dealer, where you'll get a tough truck and a deal that's tough to beat.
What's racing through your mind right now? Finding time to get to the bank shouldn't be. AmSouth now. It's banking whenever it's convenient for you. So come by or call us anytime at 1-800-AmSouth to open a relationship checking account, and we'll throw in $100 worth of free stuff. Now, can you imagine banking anywhere else? Relationship checking with $100 worth of free stuff from the relationship people, AmSouth Bank.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you doth love me most, Goneril?
Sir, I love you more than word can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty.
Regan, speak.
She comes too short. I find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness love.
Now, what shall Cordelia speak?
I brought unto you a treasure of Coca-Cola, colder than a witch's extremities.
You rule, my fairest daughter.
Rashad Brewer is only about 5'7", 5'8", maybe 165, but he's been a valuable member of the football team with the Bulldogs. Scott Griffin here, touchdown calls. Let's go to the phones. We've got Jeff from Homewood first. You're on with head coach Pete Hurd. Jeff?
Yeah, Coach. First, I want to say I just think you're doing a good job bringing the boys on strong here at the end of the year. Tell me how recruiting is going this year, and how long you think it'll be before we see the Bulldogs as a power again and nationally in 1AA.
Well, I think, recruiting is going well. The last 2 weekends we've been able to get out and watch some high school games. NCAA won't let you get out until October, and then we have 3 road games in October. So really we've just been able to get out the last couple of weeks. But we take every Tuesday night and spend about an hour on the phone. All the assistant coaches calling from about 6:30 to 7:30 on Tuesday nights. And so we're staying in contact with a lot of people. We probably will sign somewhere around 10 to 12 guys coming up this year, and hopefully probably need to sign a couple of quarterbacks, and so we're out there looking for certain people, probably some linebackers and some defensive linemen and some receivers. That's pretty much our needs as far as recruiting, and so we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we can come up with some more guys.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. He must have hung up. Let's go to Lynn now in Hoover. Lynn?
Good evening.
How you doing?
How you guys?
Doing well, sir.
Doing good, Lynn. How you doing?
Doing better and better. I love these last 2 weeks. I do want to ask you one thing, though. You kind of reviewed your halftime speech, maybe, for the third quarter for this week's game.
Yeah, I tell you, I told the players after the ball game, Lynn, we went in there this past week. We tried to evaluate what we were doing at halftime, how we could do better, and talked all last week, emphasizing to the players, we got to come out, be ready to play, and all that type stuff. And then lo and behold, we come out in the third quarter, and we look like Ned in the first reader. And so I don't know if I told them after the ball game, maybe I overcoached it. I don't know. It's just it's frustrating to me trying to find the right answer, and I've tried 2 or 3 different scenarios, and I know part of it is I know defensively particularly we haven't given up hardly any points in the first half, and you're kind of going in there guessing what they might come out in, but I thought, gosh, third quarter everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong, and we've got to, I think it's up to like 80-something points to 7 in the third quarter, and I don't know what the answer is, but we're trying to find it, and hopefully we can come up with something.
Well, I asked that kind of in joking way.
It is. It's a big.
It is.
81 to 7 is the display. Yeah. It's amazing you're 4-4.
To overcome what happened in those third quarters, though, it shows a lot for these guys at the last of the game in the fourth quarter, because you had there were 4 fumbles and a rough and a punter in the third quarter Saturday.
Right.
Let me ask you this, though. I've seen 3 of the last 4 games, and I think we've won the Battle of the Trenches in all 3 of them. And it did me good to hear Coach Blakeney and Coach Williams refer to your team as a very, very physical unit, or a very, very physical team, and I just thought that was music to my ears. That was great to hear.
Well, I think, Lynn, we've made lots of strides. You know, we started back in January when the kids came back during the second semester. I think it started with our off-season program last year. We revamped our whole off-season program as far as lifting weights, how we go about it. You know, since last January, we've been making the kids get up and eat breakfast in the morning, trying to make sure they get 3 meals in them, and you know, there's just a combination of things, and trying to establish some work ethic and getting bigger and stronger. Because I felt like the last year particularly, you know, when we got against the Stephen F. Austins, the Troy States, and things like that, you know, they were bigger and stronger than us, and even though you know, we were a young football team, you know, we had to get in that weight room and start it from there, and we've made tremendous strides in there, and we've got to do it again this next year, and hopefully continue. And our weight is up. Offensive line is, you know, 275, 280 up across there, and whereas last year, you know, you're probably looking at, you know, 260 or 255, and that's a big difference for us.
Okay, let me ask you one more quick thing, and I'll hang up and listen to your comments. I've seen a lot of 1AA football, and I don't know if I've seen many linebackers any better than Bishop. And I saw Eddie Robinson for Alabama State. Of course, he was 6'3".
Yeah, he's with the Jags now.
Yeah, but I want to ask you this: is Fred's height going to hurt as far as his possibility of being an All-American candidate? Because I really think he's in that category from what I've seen if he continues to get better. And I'll hang up and listen to your comments.
Thank you, Lynn.
Well, thanks, Lynn. Appreciate you calling. You know, Fred Bishop has done a real good job for us. You know, we design our defense where the middle linebacker has got to make plays, and you know, Fred has done that. He's a big guy, and that's why he can go down and rush the passer in nickel situations. And you know, I'm not sure what he weighs, but it's probably somewhere in the 225, 230 range. And he, matter of fact, we even thought about putting him down, in which we did the second half of last year. But you know, he's great against the run. And the good thing that he does is he doesn't miss very many tackles when they come through there. And if he gets a shot at them, he's big and strong enough to get them down. And whereas, you know, in the past, and you also got to give credit to our defensive line. Colin Harris, you know, gets double teamed most plays, and Lance Langdale and Travis Thatcher early in the year, and Lamar Whitaker and James Taylor. You know, a lot of times those guys take up 2 blockers, and you know, nobody blocks the middle linebacker, but at the same time, he's got to tackle them too. And
he's beaten out, although he still gets some reps, Eric Payne, who's excellent. It's not because Eric's bad.
Right.
Fred's been plays accentuated.
Well, he really has, and he had a great spring, and you know, it's kind of the Wally Pipp situation. Eric Payne was hurt with a foot injury in spring practice, missed all of spring practice, and Fred Bishop got in there and had a great spring in 2 days, and Eric's been in that catch-up mode ever since. I wish we had that at every position.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more. Still got a few minutes if you want to get a call in. 1-888-823-9972, 823-9972. Touchdown calls with Samford head coach Pete Hurt. There's Freddie. Again, 15 tackles.
What's on your mind right now? Finding time to get to the bank shouldn't be. AmSouth now. It's banking 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Can you imagine having a checking account anywhere else? Come by or call us anytime at 1-800-AmSouth to open a relationship checking account, and we'll throw in $100 worth of free stuff. Relationship checking with $100 worth of free stuff from the relationship people, AmSouth Bank.
My little girl, she's 8.5 months old, and before she came in this world, I made sure that she's going to be well taken care of, because if I'm not there with her and something happens, I don't want people wondering, well, what type of insurance does she have? What hospital should I take her to? Take her to the best. When you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield, no matter where you go, you know you're covered, and they take care of you. They make sure you have the best. They really do.
With most wireless phone services, you can ride around without a care in the world until you try to go out of their calling area. That's when it hits you that maybe you should have called Bell South Mobility. We give you the largest coverage area in the Southeast. And with our prepaid cellular service, Bell South Mobility gives you even more freedom. Stop by today and ask about our prepaid cellular option. Bell South Mobility. Count on it.
A meteor? How close? I'm on my way.
Superman!
I forgot the kids' Coca-Cola. Excuse me.
Thanks, Mom. You're super.
Samford and Tennessee Martin this Saturday. Let's ask the coach about it. Tennessee Martin, 0-9. But those almost scare you to death because, I mean, you get ready for a team that's 7-1. You don't have to prepare it, but at 0-9, you almost got to feel like you got to get their attention and those kind of things.
Well, I tell you, this week, you know, I've not going to say been a nervous wreck, but I mean, you know, you're sitting there every day at practice. I said, guys, I started on Monday. You know, you're going to get tired of me hearing me say this every day this week. You know, what you did last week doesn't have any bearing on this week, and Tennessee Martin is certainly good enough to beat us. You know, I'm more concerned about us and us being ready to play, and the emphasis this week has been, you know, hey, you've worked too hard to get this thing back to 4-4 to have a chance to put yourself in a position to have a decent year. And you know, all it takes is 1 week not preparing, or one time you know, not being ready to play, and you know, we've tried to focus in since, you know, the last couple of weeks, saying, hey, you know, it's blocking, tackling, pitching, and catching. If you don't do that, you're not going to win. And they've done that. You know, you don't worry about them getting ready to play Troy State. You don't worry about them as much getting ready to play Jax State.
Right.
But now all of a sudden, are we mature enough to handle the whole situation?
We'll find out. The Bulldogs gunning for their third in a row, gunning for a winning record, then with 2 at home. That'd be quite a deal. We'll see you next week, and we'll talk about the Tennessee Martin game, the Skyhawks down to the Pacers. For Samford coach Pete Hurt, executive producer Bob Green, Scott Griffin saying so long. We'll see you next Wednesday at 7:30. Hey, don't forget the game coming up with Jax State right after this. Stay with us.
Touchdown Calls has been proudly brought to you by Coca-Cola and the Birmingham Coca-Cola Bottling Company, by South Bank, the relationship people, by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama, providing health plan benefits to Alabamians for over 60 years, by Bell South Mobility, and by Armstrong Relocation.
in a creative way and then let you know about it.
Town Lodge, located at 400 Beacon Parkway West, is the logical choice for business or pleasure. Whether your needs are for affordable lodging, a place to hold your business meeting, or a gathering spot to relax and unwind with friends, the In-Town Lodge is the right choice. We offer daily and weekly rates, no lease obligation, and all the comforts of home. And after the hectic day at the office, meet the gang at the 8-Second Ride, located inside the In-Town Lodge, to kick up your heels with free dance lessons and daily drink specials. The In-Town Lodge, the answer to your needs.
One of the most exciting events in the history of Alabama high school sports is coming back to Legion Field on December 11th, 12th, and 13th. As the best in classes 1 through 6A compete for a state championship in the second year of the Super 6 championships. This year's Super 6 is sponsored in part by Alabama Power, South Trust Bank, Thompson Caterpillar, Mountain Dew, Sports First Baptist Health System by the Birmingham News and the City of Birmingham. Come be a part of history at this year's Super 6.
Welcome into the gray skies here at Samford Stadium. The cloud cover is here. The rain not here yet, but it could come again from last week. But if it is like last week, I'm not so sure the Bulldogs will mind. Hello again, everybody. Scott Griffin here. Colin Hutto with us, and the Bulldogs won one in the rain and sludge last week and ran for 200 yards. And I'm not so sure they wouldn't welcome the rain this week with Jacksonville State's passing attack. They averaged 42 passes a game.
I know they would like it. I was in the coach's office before the game and bumped into Coach Kohler, and he said, I don't want to talk to you. I didn't talk to you last week, and we won, so they probably would not mind a repeat of the weather last week with the game that Samford played against Troy State. And it's going to be a factor. The ground is still real wet here, so that's going to be a factor in this game.
Samford comes in 3-4, gunning for a 500 record. Jax State reeling a bit, 1-6, but they played a very difficult schedule. They're in the Southland Conference. And this is, it's going to sound like a cliche, but they're not as bad as their record indicates.
No, they're not. You've got to look at several of their losses, one to UAB, one to McNeese State, some real quality teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs, McNeese State and and Nicholls State in the 1AA playoffs. So they've not lost to bad teams. They were very close to Nicholls last week. So they are a good team. They're a team that needs a win. That adds more pressure to Samford. But their 1-6 record is not indicative of the type of football team that they are.
Defensively, Samford has played well the last couple of weeks. The lead snarling Bulldog is junior safety John Buchanan. Colin, last week, 22 tackles. He'll be there again. He'll be maybe not as many tackles. He'll be a key factor in today's game.
That's exactly right. Last week, a lot of running. He made a great deal of tackles. 22 tackles in one game is incredible. This week, with the number of passes that that Jacksonville State does throw, he's going to have to make the adjustments. He is the free safety. He is the defensive quarterback on the field. A lot of pressure on him to make sure folks are in the right spot. Because there are a lot of young defensive backs. He's going to have to get them in position to make the play on this wet field.
He's going to be locking eyes with the quarterback, Montressa Kirby. Not built like a big-time quarterback, 6'1", 180, but a good arm. And the thing is, he can buy time with his speed and foot quickness back there.
That's exactly right. Again, talking to Coach Kohler and some of the defensive coaches before the game, they said Kirby is a combination of the two quarterbacks we saw last week. He can drop back, throw the ball, but he can also run. Troy had a running quarterback and a passing quarterback. Kirby gives them both options. If there's nothing there on the pass, he can pull it down and gain some yardage.
The Gamecock defense even labels themselves strange. There's no left and right cornerback. There's coverage back and things like that. They use all kind of different terminology, and they'll run a ton of different fronts. So Ben Stewart, the center, the starting center for the Bulldogs, have to make a lot of calls and recognize fronts to get his line in sequence.
That's right, and it's really crucial on the running game, which is Samford's forte. Ben Stewart's going to have to make good calls so people know who they're supposed to block, because schemes change based on the type of front that you're facing. So he's going to have to make good calls, and you have to be alert. The nice thing about it, you have an offensive line that's maturing. They're playing well together. They really came into their own last week. They've got to carry that over today, and a lot rest on Ben Stewart's shoulders.
Again, Samford would love to even it up. They're going for a 4-4 record. They're going for 2-2 at home. Their first win was last week against Troy State. So we'll see what happens when the Bulldogs and the Gamecocks kick it off. We'll have that in the starting lineups for you here next on ACN Sports. Stay with us, folks. Samford against Jacksonville State.
Unspoken words. Unconditional love. Hopes and dreams. Sold in over 190 countries around the world, Coca-Cola is proud to be among the things we share.
One has a swing that is breathtakingly simple. Another is wickedly precise. One is a ferocious competitor. Another is an artist. About the only thing they have in common is a love for the game and their Rolex timepieces.
Rolex watches from Bromberg's, Birmingham and Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
Where can you get 2.9% financing on 12 different models?
The Big Value, Big Savings event at your Southern Chevy dealers, where we've made buying easier than ever because Chevrolet has just authorized
2.9% financing or $12.50 cash back on S10.
That's 2.9 financing or $12.50 cash back on any S10 we've got.
But hurry in now if you want to get 2.9 financing on S10, Blazer, Venture, Tracker.
So do you think they got it?
Oh yeah, they got it.
Welcome into another edition of ACN Sports, the Samford Bulldogs and the Jax State Gamecocks here at Samford Stadium. There's your head coach of the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, Mike Williams, in his first year, an assistant at Southern Miss for 7 years. And then Pete Hurt, of course, the head coach of the Samford Bulldogs. He is 20-19-1. The Bulldogs won the toss. They will defer until the second half, so set the kick will be freshman Jared Cook, who puts about 3 out of 4 in the end zone for no return. He's been a terrific weapon for the Bulldogs this year. Samford at Jax State should be a good one here. Samford going to even their record. There is head coach Pete Hurt. Samford leads the all-time series 19-13-2. They won last year 27-17. Breaking a 4-game losing streak. The first time these two teams played, 1905. 1905. So, there you go. JSU won the last meeting here in Birmingham, 35-14, a couple of years ago. And it should be a good one. The rain is held off. The field, though, Colin, as we tested it, still sludgy.
It's real wet. This field has not drained well at all. It's been a problem since we started football back. So it's going to be interesting to see how defensive backs covers the receivers, especially as they run on this wet field.
There's the kick by Cook, and it is bouncing at the 18 and fielded on the fly. And getting a hold there and getting knocked down, Emil Jackson, who'll get to about the 30 for the Gamecocks. The first hit by Brandon Gable, and guess who else? John Buchanan. There's your starting lineups for Jacksonville State. Montressa Kirby, very dangerous. 12 touchdowns, 1,800 yards throwing the football. Morris, Bell behind him. Allen and Hamilton, the wideouts. First and 10 Gamecocks. Samford in the 4-3. Out of the shotgun, Kirby looks, fires, has his man, Allen, and he is wrestled out of bounds over there by Joe Ackland, the lone senior for the Bulldogs. Allen, 6'5", 190 freshman. There are your linemen for the Gamecocks. Haas, Benton, Ingram, Childress, Morley. Haas, 6'4", 319, senior left tackle. First and 10 after the first down. Kirby to Allen of about 15 yards. Football at the 42, far hash mark. There's the draw to Bell, and he'll get a couple over the left guard side. For the Bulldogs, Whitaker, Thatcher is not starting. Langdale is in. Thatcher still injured. Horace and Taylor. Taylor with a ton of sacks this year and 2 last week against Troy State. 2nd and 8. In motion, the fullback Morris. Kirby escapes. This is where he's dangerous. He tucks it, runs, but Alvin Garrett's there to corral him as Kirby will get about 4 on that side. He's very dangerous, tucking and running. Payne is not the starter. Bishop, Garrett, and Wilder are your starting linebackers. They're all from Central. And we'll show you the secondary in a moment. 3rd and 6. Wilder looking like he wants to blitz. So is Bishop. They drop back. Kirby fires. Allen catches it in his hands like a good receiver. He's very close to the first down. The tackle by George Roby over there, also helping Mark Quince Wilder. They'll mark it about a half a football length short.
And there's your starting secondary, Scott. George Roby, Corey Carney, Khalif Stamps, and the tackle leader for Samford with 22 last week, John Buchanan at free safety. And I think you're right. It looks like they're going to be short. The referees are taking a close look. It is all the way across the field. They have to make a decision, and they are going to measure.
They'll measure, but it'll be about a half yard short, it looks like, from our vantage point.
It does.
And we'll see Mike Williams with an early decision here with 13-12 to go in the first quarter. We're glad you're with us on ACN Sports. Scott Griffin and Colin Hutto here with you. And no, he is a first down. Wow. They gave him a nice little mark there. I thought it was about a half a yard short when they originally marked it, but he's got the first, and Jax State with 2 of those already in this game.
And you hate to see that. You don't want this offense to get momentum and confidence. They've got to be lacking in confidence with such a paltry record of 1-6. So Samford's defense needs to step up. They're going to complete some passes, but Samford needs to stop them.
1st and 10. Split backs. They rarely get in a three-point stance. 3 wide receivers set for the Gamecocks. Against the Samford 4-3. Kirby with a long count. 3-step drop, looking, fires, misses his man. Going for Joey Hamilton out there. Hamilton 11th in the country in yardage per game with 99.7 yards a game. 12th in the country in catches with 43.
And you see Samford there mixing it up in their coverage. Alvin Garrett was running with the running back there, man-to-man coverage. So Samford is going to mix up zone and man to try to confuse the young quarterback.
Allen and Ronald Bonner split up top. Chad Caldwell down low. Kirby slips, goes back. Deep is Allen. He's open. And there's interference. Ackland ran into Allen. The senior got beat. And Joe's gotten beat a lot this year. Well, I say a lot, a handful of times. He is learning a new position at cornerback. He's got good speed, but it's just he's having to learn on-the-job training at the corner, and there's pass interference against Samford.
And that's learning on an island. At cornerback, especially playing man, you are out there by yourself. Joe makes the right play. He is beat deep. He gets a pass interference in college. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's not a
pass interference on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
And you heard the call there, but you see there Joe is beat. He makes the right play because it's only a 15-yard penalty in college. It's not a spot foul like in the pros. In the pros, that ball's down on the 3-yard line. So a smart play,
yeah,
knowing that he's beat deep.
In that case, a good penalty.
Yes.
1st and 10 from the 32. 3rd first down for Jax State here on their opening drive. Kirby in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers set, 2 backs. They hand it off, and slipping on that nasty turf is Bell. Herman Bell, the leading rusher with only 152 yards this year. And Bell will get about 3. And there he is. He had a lead block over there. Bishop was there, but Bell couldn't get much going on.
No, he couldn't. And the leading rushers are averaging less than 7 rushes per game. So Jax State not running the ball very much at all this year.
Bell averages 3 carries a game. He's got 2 already. 2nd and 7. Football inside the 30. 4 wide receivers in the pattern. Kirby flush, still buying time. Deep is Allen, and good play there.
Yes.
Nice recovery by Khalif Stamps, because Allen, the Jax State receivers, if Kirby gets in trouble, most receivers come back. They go deep. Kirby found Allen, who got behind Stamps, but Stamps came back and knocked it away. Watch this. He'll get in trouble, buy time, and Stamps will make a great recovery.
You're absolutely right. You see Kirby scrambling, Samford defenders slipping all over the place. But Stamps makes a great play. In the pros, that's face guarding. In college, that's a great play because he jumps up as the receiver tries to catch the ball. Good defensive play.
3rd and 7. Kirby throws it. That is caught by Caldwell. He's got a first down to the 17-yard line.
Number 32, George Roby.
And Caldwell, that's unfamiliar territory for him. Coming into this game, he only has 2 receptions. and you see a nice catch and a nice run after the catch, you still see Samford defenders falling on the ground, and that's a tough thing as the receivers make cuts. Those defenders, it's hard to keep your footing and make the play.
Hey, Max, let's step back from it. Caldwell with his first catch. 1st and 10, Gamecocks shotgun. Kirby hit as he throws, and it could have been picked off, but Roby fell down, Stamps fell down on the play. Kirby was hit and couldn't get his footing out there. We didn't see this much slipping and sliding
no, we didn't.
Last week in the rain, but the field is just very slodgy out there today.
Well, it's really saturated, and you see James Taylor get good pressure on Kirby. He was able to knock him down, and you're right, if defensive backs have their heads up, they might be able to make the play on the interception, but a good pressure by James Taylor.
2nd down and goal. Kirby in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, and the 2 backs. In motion is Hamilton. Flags down. Kirby flushed again, still looking. Bishop there can make the hit. Langdale, but they squirts out somehow. Does that bar of soap named Kirby and gets to the 10-yard line. He'll gain 3, but flags are down. 2 flags, 1 on the line and 1 in the backfield where holding might be. The 1 on the line could be procedure. We'll see.
Yeah, the 1 on the line is either procedure or offsides on the defense. But they'll take the word. If it's both on Jax State, they take this holding because that's a
from the spot of the foul.
Marked off from the spot of the foul, so they'll lose a ton of yardage on a 10-yard penalty.
So as opposed to 3rd and 7, Jax State will look at 2nd down. There's holding from the spot of the foul.
Holding.
2nd to the 34.
And it's going to be 2nd and 30, and that's a lot better position. Samford's got to feel fortunate.
On the offense, 10 yards, repeat, 2nd down.
Second down. Kirby drops back. Going deep. Roby is there, but it is gone. A little too long there. Trying to find Allen over there.
There on defense, number 32, George Roby.
And that was good coverage by Samford. The tough thing about it, Kirby coming into this game last year, he's running the wishbone. He's throwing the ball maybe 10 times a game. Now they're asking him to run the offense. So you've got to feel somewhat confident in the fact that it's going to be hard for him to execute consistently for a full game and beat you. So, you know, things like that play right there are going to happen.
Football at the 33, 3rd down. They got to get to the 3. 3rd and 30. Kirby in the shotgun. Samford will rush 4, but they've got their dime package in. A linebacker and 6 defensive backs. Kirby over the middle. Picked up by Buchanan. To the 22. Kirby throws it up, and it is picked off. Buchanan with Samford's 7th turnover in the last 3 games. And they had only forced 1 interception all year. Now they got 5.
And they have 4 in the last 2 games. You see Buchanan making a play right there. We were talking about him before the start of the game. Last week he makes a ton of tackles on the run. This week he's got to play the pass. Does a great job right there with the turnover.
He went after it like the offensive player. So Samford with a turnover. 1st and 10. Jake Rackley, the senior quarterback, bringing out the Dogs. Brewer skits outside, 25-30, on his feet, diving forward. He's got the 1st down on the first carry of the game. 13-yard gain for Rashad Brewer.
And he's starting where he left off last week.
Rackley, Brewer, right, 2 true freshmen in the backfield. Pointer, Salter, all freshmen. Knox is your tight end.
And one thing that happens, Scott, when you have a running back come out like Brewer has, makes the offensive line block harder, makes the wideouts block harder because they know they got a guy that can spring it if they do their job.
1st and 10, Bulldogs from the 36. Rackley drops back, play action. He's got a man, overshoots Cadell Wright. Good coverage over there by Antonio Andrews. The linemen for the Bulldogs, a solid group. Aaron Bryant, Billy West, Ben Stewart, Jim Dudley, Philip Duplantis. West, the only senior, well, with Stewart, I should say, on the offensive line. 2nd and 10, football on the 36-yard line.
And there was a nice article in the paper on those two guys this year about how they played in junior college and come to Samford. And you see the influence of their leadership on that offensive line.
Jason right here, and we were in nickel. It could be the wheel linebacker in base.
2nd and 10. We're in some instructions from Richard Kohler there. Cadell Wright to the 42-yard line. And he'll get about 6 on that. Granville, Duplan, Worthington, Garth there for JSU. There's Kohler.
We got nobody there, okay? Y'all see that? And just keep executing. They're going to get a little bit.
And he's sitting there saying you're going to bend a little bit. You can't stop Jax State. You just hope you do what you did. Let them move the football, then let them run enough plays to create a turnover. 3rd down and 5. Option. Brewer's got room on the 45, but Jax State closes quickly. But Brewer at the last moment knifes forward past the chains and knifes between 2 Gamecocks. Freeman, Buford, Andrews, your linebackers for the Gamecocks.
And you see Brewer make a good decision there. Instead of trying to fancy step it and try to gain extra yardage, he does duck his head, as you say, and got the sure first down. That's a good play for such a young player.
Samford with 2 first downs now. So both teams moving the ball offensively. 9:30 to go in the first quarter. Rackley will send Knox strong left. Pointer up top. Salter now in motion to put Twins on the top side. Rackley will trap Jerome Russell now in there. The gnat from Woodlawn. And he's stopped for about a yard loss back there. Good play on that side by Angelo Pace. Gordon Hiley Mims has 385 tackles for his career, almost 100 already this year. He's very active from the strong safety spot. And then Natasha James, the other safety. There's Mims calling the signals, and an excellent player.
He sure is. He has 97 tackles this year with 3 for a loss from his strong safety position. That's very impressive.
He's a senior at Anniston. Jax State flopping guys around. 5 line front, now 6 guys on the line. There's the handoff to Salter. He optioned to Russell. Roger Carr with some trickery. Russell still running hard over there before he was tackled on that far side. And what a play that was. Carnell Buford on the tackle. Watch this. Salter, the handoff from Rackley. They keep their distance, and he pitches wildly. Russell with a great catch on the run.
And that's a good play. You saw Salter last week run that play for 2 first downs, gained real good yardage. Jax State had to know it was still in their armamentarium, but they throw another little wrinkle into the play and turn it into an option. Very good.
Roger Carr, the offensive coordinator, former All-Pro with the Baltimore Colts, catching passes from Burt Jones. 3rd down and 5. 3 wide receivers set I formation. Rackley rolling left, throws wide open. Salter just misses it. Rackley got hit. Could have held on a little bit, but Buford came charging in, and Salter just past his fingertips, and not a bad pass at all by Rackley. Watch how close this was.
And that's a tough play. You see Jake right there didn't quite get his hips turned around where he can make an accurate pass, but again, he's getting pressure from Buford. He unloads it and just tries to make the completion, unfortunately, a little bit too long.
Very tough, too, to roll left and throw right-handed.
Very hard.
And he put it up there. Holmes is on to kick off the side of his foot. It is caught at the 12. And running out is Eurocius Parker. And he'll have a 12-yard gain.
Samford University Athletics is proud to have Birmingham Coca-Cola Bottling Company as a corporate partner. Coca-Cola's partnership is vital to all areas of the Bulldogs Division I athletics program. Always for the fans, always Coca-Cola.
Airtime Saturday, 12:45.
So Jax State comes back 1st and 10. And Anthony, if you can give me some, there you go, thank you, sir. Kirby out of the shotgun, and Bishop drags him down, and he'll do that. He'll drop it and run with it. He's done it a bunch this year. Kirby has run it 48 times this year, and he gets about 2 yards there.
Kirby is the 4th leading rusher on the Gamecocks offense. He's used to running the ball, so he's not scared to pull the ball down and run it.
2nd and 8 for the Gamecocks. We're scoreless here. Both teams moving it. But then coming to a halt. Boy, you see Bishop falling down right there. Kirby out to Hamilton. Garrett got out there in a hurry. Then Ackland and Bishop got out there. And that's those central linebackers so active with lateral speed. Garrett was out there in a heartbeat on a wide receiver.
He was. He gets out there quick. We'll drag the dead horse out after we get through kicking it a little bit more, talking about these central guys, but they're just such good football players. You see Garrett there, he's not making a play on a fullback, he's making a play on a wide receiver, and that is just extremely impressive for his size to get out there and make that play.
No gain on that play. 3rd and 8. Little draw delay. Nice read there. Very disciplined football by another central guy, Fred Bishop, who stayed in his lane, rushed the passer, but still kept his eyes open and made the tackle on Days.
He sure did. They put Fred down a lot when his 3rd and long in that nickel package because he's a bit quicker. He has a size to rush offensive linemen. And you see the linebacker instincts there taking care of the draw.
So they have to punt. John Howard is in. Williams and Jermel Manis drop back now with Russell. Howard waiting. Has it now. Sets it up. Russell has it at the 42. Dances. Gets back on his feet to the 45-yard line.
Jerome Russell on the return.
13-yard return for Russell, who averages 11 a game.
And that was a nice return. You see Samford line up in a bit of a different formation on their punt return. They must have seen something in the film that they thought they could take advantage of. You actually saw 3 men deep for Samford. It almost paid off right there. Jerome almost got through that line and broke it for a long one.
1st and 10, Samford now winning the field position battle as they're on Jax State's side of things at the 40-yard line, 45-yard line, I should say. Split receivers, broken eye, pitch back. Brewer tries to find something, and there's nothing there. The hole collapsed in a hurry. Gamecocks all over the place, led by Carnell Buford, the 6'1", 230-pound freshman out of Warwick, Georgia. And there's Robbie Gibbons, a former offensive guard who now works with defense here with the Bulldogs, a starting tight end for many years.
That's right.
Out of Tallahassee.
Teach him a few tricks of the trade from what those other guys are trying to do.
Doing a little coaching. 2nd and 10. Rackley shotgun now. Good protections. Got a man, Brewer. Boy, he gets nailed there. But he beat the linebacker, made a nice catch. He'll be very close to a 1st down. Brewer, who was nailed by Delvin Hewley.
And you'll see Jake here, nice delivery on the football, gives a nice pass to handle easily. The hit not quite as bad as it looked from up here, but a nice play for Samford, nice 1st down. Rashad makes a nice catch for the 1st down.
1st and 10, Bulldogs with their 3rd 1st down of the game. Knox back in, replacing James Carr. Michael Watson is yet to play in this game, former starting wideout. Jerome Russell around in, trying to move, and gets to the 23. And he'll have big yardage over there for the 34. That's an 11-yard game for the Nats.
1st down, Bulldogs.
And the entire left side of that Jacksonville State defensive front was just chopped down. There was just smooth sailing for Jerome. Great blocks on the end. Allows Jerome to get around the corner and gain 10 or 12 yards for another Samford 1st down.
If you put them together, Brewer and Russell about 10 feet, 11 feet, 1 inch of tailback. Not much. Maybe 300-plus pounds, but they're a load. Look at Cadell Wright spin and get a yard. Really racked up there. Good tackle by Antonio Andrews, but Cadell Wright, that shows you him. Watch him get stuck full and square, but still spin and gain 2 yards on the play.
That's exactly right. We were talking about him before the game. Those guys, when they get hit, they don't fall backwards. They keep their feet moving and they fall forwards. Cadell should have gone down right where he was hit. He keeps his legs churning and gets a yard or 2 out of the play.
Samford with 43 yards rushing already. 2nd and 7. Pitch back, Brewer. Around in, 30. Boy, he just seems, the wet turf does not seem to bother him at all. Flags down, and they may have one of the Bulldogs for holding. But Brewer, he runs, everybody else is tentative. He's running around like he's on AstroTurf.
He is. You hate to see that. Yeah, he's running well because he's not taking the little short, unsure steps. He is running full speed straight ahead and is running extremely well on such a nasty field.
Carol McCray asking official who was the culprit.
Holding, offense, 10 yards, repeat 2nd down.
There's some of the
Let's go home! Let's go, baby!
Langdale, Rusty Henry, some of the defensive linemen. That'll cost him 10. It'll be 2nd at about 16. Football at the 28-yard line. Pointer and Salter to the left, I formation. Rackley, play action, got a man, right in the flats, may score, right, out at the foot line. Cadell Wright lowered his shoulder and tried to get 6. Rackley showing you how much farther he's got to go. Nice play, Rackley to Cadell Wright.
Extremely nice play. You see the bootleg off the counter action, pass out in the flat, and that's just a great job of running the football by Cadell Wright. He wanted that end zone. He couldn't quite get it, but it put Samford in great position. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Rackley now 2 out of 3 for 38 yards. Full house backfield. A lot of times they give it to Wright here. They do. Wright diving in, and they don't give it to him. So he'll get football length closer and still be about that shy of Pater.
That's just a good defensive surge by that front line of Jacksonville State, but you see that ball is as close. You'll see here, defensive getting a little penetration, and Cadell's unable to get in the end zone. But you see that ball, it cannot be any closer to the goal line than it is right now.
And when you're that close, you like to sort of go in twisting because you're not as big a target there. And you saw a square hit to square hit. Twisting, he might would have snuck through. Whaley in motion now. They hand off, Brewer, touchdown. Rashad Brewer with the score. And the Bulldogs on top here. Brewer, who just started playing about 4 games ago, with his 5th touchdown already on the year.
That's incredible. That's just a good testament, first of all, to what that offensive line is doing, but it also shows that Rashad Brewer knows what to do with the football.
There was a penalty. It was offside Jax State. Brewer about 5'6", 165, but just tough.
Yeah.
Jared Cook on for the extra point. James Carr to hold. The snap from Stewart. 7-0 Samford. We'll take a break. You're watching ACN Sports.
Where can you get 2.9% financing on 12 different models?
The Big Value Big Savings event at your Southern Chevy dealers.
With 2.9% financing on 6 Chevy cars: Lumina, Cavalier, Monte Carlo, Camaro, Prism, and Metro.
And 2.9% on 6 Chevy trucks: Blazer, S10, Tracker, Venture Minivan, Astrovan, and G-Van.
But hurry, because 2.9% financing won't last long.
So do you think they got it?
Oh yeah, they got it.
Replay of the touchdown could have gone for a lot further. Good block, Jim Whaley out there. Brewer sneaking in from a yard out. And Samford, wow, that's about as big as Colin Harris's shoulders there. The press box and those shoulders of the sophomore from Mobile. Samford on top 7-0 over Jax State. 2:41 to go here in the first quarter. The lights are on. A mist in the sky. The field chewed up from last week's play, but no rain yet. Cook is set to kick. The freshman from Hoover High School right here in Birmingham. Nice deep kick. Fielded 2 yards back. They'll drop it down there. Won't even think about bringing it out. So Cook 1 for 2 now and touchback. There is Pete Hurt calling the defensive signal.
He's got his second unit in. Going to give them a crack at Jacksonville State offense. See what they can do with that quarterback.
TV and airs on the Alabama Cable Network at 7:30.
In Rusty Henry at an end. Steve Wilson back at tackle where he played 2 years ago, the transfer from Memphis State. That's good to see. I thought he had a good year there 2 years ago. And they've moved him around a bit. Kirby outside to Allen, and he'll have 5 over there. The tackle by Jermel Manis on that side. Also Whitney Polson, Jason Daly in, Lewis Cole, the freshman from Central, Nick Spina is in. Chris Wright, a walk-on freshman safety, so virtually everybody. Ackland now checks in for Corey Carney on the right corner. Everybody else is backups. Eric Payne, backup middle linebacker there. Kirby outside to nobody. Bonner cut in.
Intended for number 1, Ronald Bonner.
Bonner actually slipped down, Scott. He was trying to make the out cut, just couldn't get it. Again, bad footing out on that field, and Samford has to mix in those first team and second team defensive fronts, especially because trying to rush a quarterback over 40 times a game will absolutely wear you out, and Pete's trying to keep those guys fresh as much as possible.
Third down and 5. Kirby drops back. Throws it out. Nice catch over there. Boy, he can't hold on to it. Hamilton had it in his hands. Payne on the coverage. Stuck there for a moment, then fell to the turf. Hamilton, again, the 12th in America in catches, 11th in yardage. Kirby, a nice throw, but just can't get it there.
It sure was. That was almost an outstanding catch, and you see why he is so highly ranked in 1AA in the country in pass receiving.
Back to receive for Samford, number 1.
4th down and 5, and on to punt quickly is Howard, and flags are down. Jason Daly did not get off the field in time, and Richard Kohler let him know about it.
Timeout, Bulldogs.
They had to call a timeout awaiting the punt, and that's not good. We'll take a quick break here. Bulldogs up 7-0, minute 53 to go. You're watching ACN Sports.
Please support our sponsors. Tell them thanks for being an important part of Samford's success.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you doth love me most, Goneril?
Sir, I love you more than word can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty.
Regan, speak.
She comes too short. I find I am alone felicited in your dear highness love.
Now, what shall Cordelia speak?
I brought unto you a treasure of Coca-Cola, colder than a witch's extremities.
You rule, my fairest daughter.
So Samford has to burn a timeout there with Jax State about the punt.
Well, they couldn't afford the penalty. It would have been close to first down. So all in all, you hate to call a timeout, but a good call to save the penalty in the 5 yards.
Yeah, because it might have given a first down.
Yep.
Jax State shifts, and when they do that, Samford shifts back. Williams and Manis come back. Russell is deep. He had a 13-yard return his first time. Howard kicks it. Russell at the 40. Runs his own man tackle. Then Williams will get credit for that.
Number 1, Jerome Russell. They're making
35-yard kick by Howard. Russell, about a yard return will give him on that one.
40.
Samford has it again, though, a great field position with a minute 41 to go in the first quarter. Football just past the 40. Bulldogs go up for a 4-4 record. And playing pretty well, I think, the last few weeks. Starting to find themselves offensively. Defense understanding more. Split receivers, I formation. Brewer, the tailback. Rackley on the sort of a naked option, almost like a draw play for the quarterback. And he'll get about 5 over there.
He sure did. You would have thought that was a busted play when he first started, but Jake pulls the ball down and runs immediately. He's not looking for an option. It looked to me, I thought
quarterback trap almost.
Yeah, I thought at first his pitch man went the wrong way, but Jake simply takes the ball down and gets what he can, gets a nice 5 or 6 yard gain. Good play.
2nd and 5. Boy, that's like a first pitch strike in baseball. When you get 4 and 5 yards first down, it really puts the defense on his heels. They don't know what to expect. Brewer stops in his tracks, thrown down. Almost got away from Zevon Garth, the senior, but could not. And he is thrown for a loss of 2.
It looked like the defense knew what to expect that time. A great play for the loss, but you're absolutely right. If you can get 4, 5, or 6 yards on that first down, it makes the team a lot more relaxed, but it also makes it a lot easier for the coaches to call plays.
3rd down, 7. Rackley drops back. Over the middle, wide open is Salter. He's hit, but still on his feet. Now down at the 26-yard line. Rackley stepped up and delivered it. Now a flag is down, and Rackley and Bryant pleading their case, and that will probably be called back. Boy, that is horrible. A 34-yard gain will be nullified there.
Well, you hate to see that. That was an outstanding delivery of the ball. Rashad wide open.
Salter
was open. Rashad was open too. He just didn't get to catch the ball.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards. Repeat 3rd down.
And I'd like to see the holding here.
Boy,
that's kind of a lame call.
They called it on Aaron Bryant, and he did not hold. If we can see that again in a moment, Anthony, Bryant just shoved his man. He had his hands inside and then shoved him out. There looked like no holding at all there. I assume it was on Bryant because of the official. All right, watch here, 75. He's not holding there.
He's pushing.
He just pushed him.
That's bad.
That's a bad call.
I agree. Well, and you saw earlier, the holding was called earlier was on a hash mark away from the play.
Yeah, that's not a good call, and that hurts the Bulldogs.
Yep.
First quarter is over. Samford on top, 7-0. You're watching ACN Sports.
Where can you get 2.9% financing on 12 different models?
The Big Value, Big Savings event at your Southern Chevy dealers.
With 2.9% financing on 6 Chevy cars: Lumina, Cavalier, Monte Carlo, Camaro, Prism, and Metro.
And 2.9% on 6 Chevy trucks: Blazer, S10, Tracker, Venture Minivan, Astro Van, and G-Van.
But hurry, because 2.9% financing won't last long.
So do you think they got it?
Oh, yeah, they got it.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you doth love me most, Goneril?
Sir, I love you more than word can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty.
Regan, speak.
She comes too short. I find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness love.
Now, what shall Cordelia speak?
I brought unto you a treasure of Coca-Cola, colder than a witch's extremities.
You rule, my fairest daughter.
Third down and about 20. Rackley in the shotgun, flushed, sacked over there. Warren Blair, the backup senior defensive end, drops Rackley. He'll lose 5, and that holding penalty that really was not holding comes back to haunt the Bulldogs in a big way. So they have to punt with Brian Holmes.
Yeah, they would have been in position to have probably a great chance to score at the football. So you hate to see that. You hate to see officials popping up that big in a game already.
Holmes on to kick. Boy, they came after it, but he sends one deep. It is caught by Parker at the 33. Dancing around, still moving. Flags all over the place. To 37, that looks like it'll go against Jax State, and we'll see what that's all about. 41-yard punt by Holmes.
I think you're going to have the infamous blocking in the back above the waist, and that's another one you hate to see. This time was a good call.
It'll back up Jacksonville State even more. There's the indication by the referee, Art Massey.
On the Gamecocks.
We have an illegal block in the back.
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Touchdown.
From their own 26.
Pete Hurt not really enamored with that call a moment ago. 1st and 10. Doesn't mind this one. The chains aren't set yet. Hold on, guys. The referees haven't seen it. The chains are not set. They run the play anyway. Cedric Allen gets it, throws back to Kirby. He's got tons of room. Wright is the only one over there. Kirby down the sidelines to the 29. So a wild play there.
Hamilton pass complete to Kirby.
54-yard gain.
That was a well-designed play. It caught Samford completely off guard. Colin Harris saw it. He just couldn't quite make the play. After Colin, there's really no one out there, and now it's just a matter of pursuit. You see Payne getting downfield to finally make the play, and that was just an outstanding call. It is trickery, but it worked extremely well.
Mike Williams pulling one there. He threw it to Allen. Allen threw it right back to his quarterback for a nice play, and he had 3 or 4 linemen out there, and no Bulldog except for Chris Wright, who went in there and just tried to take out a couple of blockers. He did that, but Kirby had a long way.
Yeah, he did.
Fans in the east stands can use the gymnasium, and fans in the west stands can go to the field house.
Samford leading 7-0 with 14:01 to go in the 2nd quarter. Kirby. 4 wide receivers going out. Throws to his valve out there. And has hit.
Kirby's pass complete to number 1, Ronald Bonner.
Bonner with the catch.
Number 13, Nick Spino.
For Jax State.
2nd down.
And he'll get 5 over there. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And that's a tough thing to defend with Jacksonville State being in almost a completely passing offense. They run a lot of receivers downfield, but they always have that safety valve that Kirby can go to if nothing is open downfield. And as you see, it nets him 4 or 5 yards.
Unofficially, Kirby 6 of 11 I have him for 41 yards. 2nd down and about 5. 2 wide receivers set. Dropping back, only 2 wideouts in the coverage, so Kirby has nowhere to throw it. Throws it deep. Ackland there for the interception, but it's fall down. Ackland had it, but his momentum carried him into the end zone, and the ball came loose.
Boy, we sure could have used that one. That's good heat by the defensive front of Samford. You see Kirby having to scramble here. I think JT might have been held right there. Kirby throws it all the way back across the field. That is an extremely long pass. We just got to hold on to that ball, but that's good coverage by the Samford secondary.
3rd down and 5. Samford on the blitz. Kirby reads it, fires, but too tall. The play was set up. He had Bonner there. Ackland was not terribly tight on him. He just missed that throw, did Montrezl Kirby.
He sure did. And again, field, the track is extreme. You now for 6 instead of a 5 or 10, 15-yard gain.
4th down. 4th down and 5. They'll go for it. Kirby. In motion goes Morris. Kirby over the middle, misses it. Good coverage by Mike Williams. He had 2 picks last week. He's in there on the dime package, the freshman, and he's all over Bonner to knock it down. That's a nice play by the undersized Mike Williams.
That's exactly right. Mike Williams has man-to-man coverage on Bonner. You see him make a great play there. There's absolutely no way that ball is going to be complete. That's a great defensive play and a good call by the Samford defensive coaches.
Mike O'Toole, the secondary coach, has to be very pleased with that.
No question.
1st and 10, Samford. They take over on downs. Jax State, again, they'll jump guys all around. They'll keep 8 or 9 in the box usually. Rackley throws, got a man picked off over there. Falling down is Mims, the big play man. Mims picks it off on the intended pass to Salter. So Samford with a turnover.
And that's Mims' first interception of the year, but you see why he is able to make so many tackles from that strong safety position. This is an outstanding one-handed stab by Mims. That's a great play, and that gives Jacksonville State great field position on Samford's 27-yard line going in.
Two strange-looking guys walking in the booth now.
One especially.
The rain's coming down here at Cyber Stadium. 7-0, 13-13 to go. Kirby going deep. Battle for it. Roby with a nice play. Boy, they battled a little bit and hand-fought there. A little karate secondary action, and Roby jumped up and knocked it away from Hamilton.
A little kung fu fighting, but Roby makes a great play there. He's on the receiver's hip. You see Whitaker get chopped down like a great redwood. And Roby comes inside to make a great play. Great knockaway to keep Jacksonville State from catching that ball.
2nd down and 10. We'll see how the rain affects Montressa Kirby. 5'11" quarterback out of Jess Lanier. Oh, actually, excuse me, he's out of Anniston. What am I talking about?
You don't know what you're talking about.
He looks like a Jess Lanier quarterback.
And what do they look like?
Like Montressa Kirby. There's the pass over the middle, but out of the hands. So the rain affecting it right there. Bonner had it in his hands, and it missed.
Kirby's passing. 10 in
So
for
Kirby
number
now
1.
6 of 13. There you see his footing slip a little bit, but that was on target.
3rd down.
And Stamps up there to make the hit to make sure Bonner can't catch it on the rebound.
And he's got to make that catch. That does hit him in the hands, boy. I like that lightning, like electricity around my ears. I hope I don't get struck. But that was a good defensive play on Sam.
Why are you worried about yourself like that?
Got a wife and kids at home, baby.
They're out there in the elements. You're in a booth, and you're worried about yourself. 3rd and 10. 3 wide receiver set. Kirby rolls right now. A lot of deep patterns for the Gamecocks. Wide open is Emil Jackson. He's belted out of bounds at the 18. And he'll be very close to a 1st down.
That is going to be close. I think they'll have to measure that.
Make the stop, Wilder.
Marquince Wilder just comes up and drills a Jacksonville State receiver. But a good pass pattern. Again, Kirby is going to have to deal with the elements. The rain did come and got everything nice and slick. Not a huge rain, but it was enough just to get all the balls wet, get the field real slick. That thing is saturated. There's no way it's going to absorb any more water. Jacksonville State now going to try a 35-yard field goal. This is going to be a tough call.
Brad Prince on to kick. Chandler Morley to snap and Hoblitzel to hold, and there is timeout. Samford. They're up 7-0. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. The Dogs on top with 12:19 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
The quality and dependability of Toyota cars and trucks is no big secret. But what you might not know is what sets Sonny King Toyota apart from all other dealers. As a 4-time recipient of the Toyota President's Award, Sonny King Toyota has been recognized for unmatched excellence in customer satisfaction. What this means to you is that every department is performing at top level, so you receive the best buying experience. Sonny King Toyota, where quality and commitment mean something.
The rain's coming down. We need windshield wipers here on the Cyber Stadium. Boy, there you see a nice shot of the rain. It's not clapping you here. 4th down and a yard. And we might see Jax State not execute well here. They don't run a lot of plays like this. They're trying to draw Samford off sides. Samford's not budging. And Kirby will call time. So they didn't even trust themselves to run it a half.
Timeout, Jacksonville State.
I don't blame them. Last week they had 10 fumbles, 8 of which were mishandled snaps from the center to the quarterback. So probably a good choice not taking a chance there. And they do have a real good chance to get 3 on the field goal.
So they have to call a timeout. Samford's still on top by 7. So they put their field goal out. Samford called time. Jax State comes back. tries to draw Samford off sides, they can't, then they call time.
Would like to also thank
It's like in baseball where you introduce a guy to hit, the other manager brings in a pitcher, then they bring in a pinch hitter for him.
That's a very good
like that.
It's a lot. It's so much like that. It's uncanny. It's actually scary. That gives me a chance. Well, that's just the kind of guy you are. Whether your next move is for your home or office, let Armstrong Relocation handle the job. Professional, safe, courteous service, the tremendous attention to details. What set Armstrong Relocation apart for others?
You're getting better and better.
Well, I've learned to read, you know. It's an outstanding talent.
4th down, a half yard. They're going to line up again. And we'll see how they run out of this. They hand to Jackson, and he doesn't get it. So they're not used to it. Emil Jackson got it and got belted for no gain. We'll see who makes the play. Taylor knifing in. Marquinch Wilder there. So Taylor and Wilder, two of your bigger play guys. And there's Alvin Garrett.
He's a little fired up.
I tell you, these Central guys, look at them. They love to play the game. I mean, they don't just, they love it out here. I think they'd be playing it if they had a scholarship or not. They'd be finding a field somewhere just to run into somebody.
They seem to like it.
So Samford gets it. Rackley to right off right tackle, and he'll pick up positive yardage over there behind Ben Stewart and Aaron Bryant.
David Pleasant, second down.
Wright, the leading rusher for a long time on this Bulldog team, the true freshman out of Fayette County on the state champions, will get 7 on that play.
And like you said earlier, that's nice when you can get the 6 or 7 yards on 1st down. It makes play calling a lot easier. You can be a lot more creative on the 2nd, 3rd, and short.
2nd and 3. Football at the 26. Split receivers. Hand off right again. Hit again and goes forward. Just belted a bunch of times there. Mims was one of those that got there.
33, Cadell Wright.
And he'll be close to a 1st down. About a yard shy.
Well, you see Mims come up and just make an outstanding hit. He's a lot like Buchanan. He is a safety, but he's still not scared to come up when he does get a true run read, to come up and make a tackle. And that's extremely evident in his 97 tackles coming into this game.
A couple of gentlemen representing B Squared companies.
Right.
Blue Bell with David Rogas and Birmingham Bulls with Scott Myers.
Yes, sir.
I just thought that up.
You're quick.
3rd and 2. Hand off right again. It's in the secondary, and he's got a 1st down. Flags are down. He'll get 7, but we'll see about the flag.
Well, you got to hope that's defensive offsides, and it is. Very good.
Somebody hurt Jax State. Gavin Davis, the freshman from Riverdale, Georgia, and Ben Stewart, who just blocked him, was waving the Jacksonville State trainers over in a hurry, and that shows you the respect. Samford and Troy State, I think, have a dislike for each other, but Jax State, Samford, it's a healthier rivalry. They still get after each other, but it's not as animated, maybe.
That's right. This game has been going on since Samford went back to scholarship football. The first year we had scholarships in 1AA, the season of 1988, we went down to Jacksonville State and got soundly spanked. But we've been playing them now for over 7 years. So this is a real good rivalry. Both games are intense. Both games are good rivalries. But I think you're right in the assessment that Samford and Jacksonville have a healthier respect for one another.
Well, the officials are waving everybody in because of lightning. So with 10:43 to go here in the 2nd quarter, the teams are heading in. Meanwhile, Mr. Davis still on the field. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more here on ACN Sports. The Dogs on top 7-0. There's a stoppage of play.
Unspoken words. Unconditional love. Hopes and dreams. Sold in over 190 countries.
Welcome back here. We've had quite a delay, and due to the tape, you did not have to endure it, but quite a delay of
about an hour.
About an hour or so with the Lightning, and Samford has it back here with a 7-0 lead, 10:43 to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10 from the 34. 3 wide receivers set. Rackley delayed, nowhere. Handed it off to Brewer, and he is stuck down immediately. Oh, there's Zevon Garth leading the way.
Rackley's handoff to number 28.
So Brewer will lose.
Brewer. He's tackled by number 41.
About 8.
Well, it looks like Jax State went in for that break and decided they're going to just come out and go after Samford. They brought the all-out blitz, and it worked well there, causing Samford to lose about 8 yards.
2nd down, 18. John Pointer, the true freshman from Mississippi, to the left. Salter in the slot. To the right, James Carr, the son of Roger, a freshman out of Chelsea. Rackley is your quarterback, the senior. Everybody else freshmen all around him, as far as the skill position players are concerned. Jax State in a 4-3. They roll the safeties up a bit. There's Brewer rushing through. He'll get back that 8. Stuck down there by Natasha James, a freshman safety, but Brewer gets 8 to the 35.
And again, you see the hard running of Brewer gains back those 8 yards that Samford lost on the first play. Makes it manageable now, 3rd and 10. They can call a few plays to get a first down here, but a nice call to get those 8 yards back.
3rd down and 9.5. Wright and Brewer flanked to each side of Rackley. Takes the snap, rolls right, still on his feet, running and knocked down at the 43. He's 2 yards shy of the first down is Rackley. He gets 8 on that run.
And it looked like Jake wanted to take the ball back to the inside and try to get that first down, but the inside-out pursuit you'll see here from Jacksonville State just will not allow him to do that. He gets what he can, and is close to the first down, not quite making it.
So Holmes is on to kick, and the 41-yarder his last time back. There it is, sailing, Eurocius Parker at the 13. And he'll be dropped at the 19.
That's one area of the game Samford has really improved. They're still struggling with the field goal attempt, but their punting game has really done a 180-degree turn from last year. They're doing quite well.
Center in Homewood is proud to support the Samford Bulldogs. Firestone Tire and Service Centers provide you with not only tires, but also complete professional service.
8:27 to go in the first half. Good to have you back.
Well, I had a little adventure during that rain delay. We'll talk about that later.
1st and 10, Jax State. Kirby, play action, roll it. No, he hands it off. Boy, it's a good fake. Went outside.
Kirby's handoff to number 32, Herman Bell.
Who gets around the outside with a few running plays. He has 4 yards rushing in this game before that carry. And he'll get another 4 there.
Second down.
That was really the non-fake that got you, wasn't it? But that was actually a non-fake.
2nd and 6. Both offenses moving the ball a little bit. Only one touchdown, though. That was after a interception by John Buchanan. The team took it down. Handoff, Morris around left end, nothing. James Taylor was there. Great penetration by Marquince Wilder, who just shot through a gap, forced Morris to go even more outside.
34, Jay Morris.
So they'll lose a couple of yards there.
And that was a good play here, right? Both offenses are moving the ball well, and not quite a quarter and a half. Both offenses have 100 yards. Samford with 100 yards, Jacksonville State with 104, so both performing quite well.
Fred Bishop now a defensive tackle in this nickel package. Normally a middle linebacker, but with the rotation and Thatcher's injury, he has to play there. Kirby throws it out. Nice coverage by Nick Spina over there.
Complete to number 85.
They complete the pass.
He's tackled by number 13.
But Spina's there for the immediate tackle.
And that's a good close on the ball. Samford fading back, couldn't complete an underneath pass. And Spina coming up to make the tackle.
So Kirby, 8 of 20, only 54 yards. On to kick is Howard. He has 2 35-yarders to his credit. 7 minutes to go in this first half. Low kick. Fielded by Russell at the 37. Dropped. Dropped right there. 38-yard kick. No return to Russell, getting up a bit lame.
Number 43, Alton Murphy. The Bulldogs take over 1st and 10 from their own 37.
Health Partners of Alabama is proud of its association with Samford Universities and the Bulldog athletic program. Over the years, Health Partners has grown to become the HMO of choice for thousands of people around the Southeast. You don't need a health plan, you need a health partner. Health Partners of Alabama.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. From the 37, in motion is Salter. I formation. Handoff. Boy.
Who was that missile?
Brewer gets a yard, but coming flying over the top was the linebacker. Number 41, Antonio Andrews. There's the replay. Dives and misses. Mims comes up to make the tackle to safety. And that sort of threw Brewer off. You just saw a body flying through the air.
He saw a Scud missile coming at him, and that freaked him out a little bit. That was a unique play there.
Brewer, 10 carries for 27 yards. He has 340 carries the last 340 yards the last 4 games. About 87 yards a game. Split receivers. Scott knocks the tight end to the right side. Broken eye. In motion, James Griffith. They pitch back to Griffith, the tailback. He's around in. He'll get knocked down there. So Griffith will lose a couple on that carry.
And Angelo Pace was not fooled on that play. You'll see him chasing Griffith from the snap. You see him inside out right there making the play, not fooled at all. It's a good defensive play by Jacksonville State.
They've moved James Griffith a bit to wide receiver to get him more in the game. He's a bigger back. But they're trying to find some playmakers, put their best playmakers on the field somewhere.
Okay.
Brackley drops back, pressured, sack. And there he is, Mims again. Brewer saw it late, did not recognize. Only got a piece of Mims, and that's not enough. And Rackley dropped on the blitz. Good call by the Jacksonville State coaches. He'll lose 13 yards.
And I believe that's Mims' second sack of the day, if I'm not mistaken. He came into the game with no quarterback sacks. He came on the blitz that time and was able to corral Rackley.
Holmes on to kick again. So just trading punch back and forth now. Line of scrimmage, the 25. Holmes with a booming kick. Forces Parker back to the 27. Got some room and brings it to the 41. 47-yard kick for Holmes, who's punting very well. And a 13-yard return. Jax State with good field position at the 41. 4:34 to go here in the first half. A lot of colors out. You see the multicolored look across the way with all the Parkers and the rain gear. The rain has stopped, but it rained hard here for about 45 minutes or so, and lightning and all kind of stuff in the area. Kirby drops back, pressured by Whitaker, and he'll get about 5 yards on the rush. Again, he's very dangerous even when he runs the football. He's got 65 yards rushing in this game.
And you see him scrambling there, and that's the scary thing. You keep a quarterback from being able to throw the football. Samford had nice pressure, unable to corral him, and Kirby simply pulls the ball down and gains 7 yards.
2nd and 5.
Or 5.
Kirby in the shotgun. Trips to the bottom of your screen. 1 to the top, 5 going out in the pattern. Kirby steps, delivers, knocked down by Buchanan. He's got an interception already in this game. And the junior with another nice play. Shows you he likes to play on the run, but he can also defend the pass. That's his 9th pass broken up this year.
And that's a good play. He's simply back, Buchanan's simply back there playing center field. He sees a square and coming across the field. The ball comes to the square end, and Buchanan steps up and makes a nice play.
3rd and 5 from the 46. Three wide receivers, the back split to each side of Kirby. Now Morris in motion. He'll probably safety valve out there. Kirby pumps, gets hit, going deep, open. Hamilton drops it.
Kirby's pass intended for number 6, Joey Hamilton. They're on defense.
And as we said, Joe Ackland on the coverage. And for some reason, Joe just having trouble. I say that's Stamps. Stamps got beat. Joe Ackland trying to help out over there.
Yeah, I didn't see the route. But
people all year have snuck behind the Samford secondary, and they haven't been burned many times, but they've been open. That one was open and dropped it.
Yeah, we dodged a huge bullet right there.
Hamilton, very sure of himself normally.
Hit him in a bad place. Hit him in the hands.
Howard. So another kick. We've had 2 or 3 punts here in the last 3 minutes. Russell scoops it up at the 12 and dropped it to 16.
Howard is returned by number 1, Russell.
43-yard kick for Howard that time. And Samford retains possession with 3:30 to go.
Bulldogs take over first and 10 from there.
Samford Athletics is proud to have AmSouth Bank as a sponsor.
Getting in a lot of spots right now.
I'm ripping through them, baby. This year's television broadcast. Over the years, AmSouth and Samford Athletics have maintained a solid relationship for which we are grateful. But then relationships are what AmSouth Bank is all about. See how a relationship with AmSouth Bank can be beneficial for you.
1st and 10. Carr to the top. Salter and Pointer down low. There's Pete Hurd talking to Stamps. Little love pat there saying don't do it again, though. Don't get beat back there. Rackley option, gets hit. Brewer has it, though, on the corner. Runs over Carr and gets about 12 over there. James was trying to block, and Brewer said, if you're not going to block it quick enough, get out of my way.
He surely did. You see Brewer just knocking anybody that's in his way out of the way to get that first down. That's just hard, determined running right there. But a good block on the corner.
Marquince Wilder getting taped up there by Wayne Kendrick. Veteran trainer, many years at Berry High School under the legendary Bob Finley. Then came to Samford a couple of years ago. Good man. 1st and 10. Split receivers. Pitch back. Brewer on the corner. Salter tried to get out man. Still got on the corner to Brewer, and he's down at the 36-yard line. Salter trying to get that block. Brewer tried to use him. And he's still got about 7 on the carry. There he is. If he got a piece of him, he might have gone for a little bit more, but that slowed him enough for Mims to make the tackle.
It did, but that one nice thing, you see Brewer with the ability and the speed to get the corner. He can turn the corner, has enough speed to get outside and get upfield.
2nd down and 3. Pointer up top. Salter down low, now in motion. The lone back's Russell. They hand to Salter. Oh, a great block by Pointer. Salter on the outside. He'll have 5 over there. And John Pointer with a great crackback block. It looked like on the safety. Watch the guy sprawling here. Right there, Mims.
Mims took it in the mouth.
From Pointer. Good block.
It sure was. And that's one where it's kind of iffy. You have a chance to clip the safety on that block, but a nice crackback. And Mims might be a little more leery of coming upfield and making tackles, a few more blocks like that.
It's like an inside fastball in baseball, just sort of gets your attention.
Little chin music.
1st and 10 from the 41. Samford handed to Cadell Wright. He's got room inside. Another 1st down. Samford's 8th 1st down in the 1st half, and watch the big fullback to keep you honest. A little trap play by Dudley.
Very nice. You see a lot of fold down blocks on the play side. Then the trap block by Dudley springs right up into the middle for about 11 yards, and another nice play for Samford. Samford's offensive line really taking charge here in the 2nd quarter.
Right now unofficially 6 carries for 30 yards. He averages about
almost
4.6 a game. Or a carry, I should say. Rackley spins outside. And not much there. Maybe a yard for Jake. Pete Hurt, towels around the neck to keep warm. Wanting to beat Jax State and Troy State in the same year. It hasn't happened for Samford since 1966.
That's exactly right. And our friend John Lee Armstrong was the head coach then. John Lee coached here when I was coaching.
And you weren't born in 66.
I was a year old, as a matter of fact.
2nd and 9. Rackley in the shotgun. Delivers. A little tall for Russell. And Richard Kohler even missed it. There's Marquince Wilder.
What? I heard that.
That's what a football player ought to look like. Grass all in his face. He's probably got all over his mouthpiece.
He'd be an all-Madden team guy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, we got to tighten up, hey. Be smart in the secondary now.
3rd down and 9.
Yeah, we need a first down here. This has been too good a drive to let it stall. We've had some nice plays. Sanford needs to rip off a 9 or 10 yarder right here.
From the 45, Michael Watson split out wide right now. Pointer and Salter there. Rackley rolling, sack. Play took a long time to develop. He rolled left, and Salter and Pointer were still in their routes as Rackley was getting sacked here. He had nobody to throw it to, and just had to eat it.
Just too many of them. Not enough of us, too many of them for Samford to block that and give Jake enough time to throw the football downfield. And Samford looks like they might be going for it.
4th down, 40 seconds to go, so they'll probably let the clock run down. I would think they'd have to kick that.
I would hope so. You're right.
They may take a penalty here, then put the punt team on.
Yep.
Delay a game on Samford. That'll back them up 5.
On the Bulldogs.
So Holmes will come on to kick with 21 seconds to go.
Back to return to the Gamecocks is number 3, Roach's Parker.
Holmes on to kick. 47-yarders last time. His 6th punt of the first half. Parker lets it bounce. And it'll be dead at the 6. Good punt there. 50-yard punt for Brian Holmes.
I think our referee needs to turn off his microphone.
10 seconds to go. I would assume Jax State would just take a knee.
Yep. Boy, he needs.
Yep.
He needs to cut that off.
The official has forgotten to turn off his mic, so maybe we can kill it in the truck.
Don't get too close to me. I'm very muddy.
And we're in the conversation there. 7-0. Kirby just gets it, runs forward. Oh, about 3 yards or so, and that'll do it. So that's the end of the first half. Samford on top, 7-0 here on a rainy, lightning-delayed game. And the Bulldogs on top, trying to even their record, 4-4. We'll take a break. We'll show you some of the bands here when we get back. Stay with us. You're watching ACN Sports.
Where can you get 2.9% financing on 12 different models?
The Big Value, Big Savings event at your Southern Chevy dealers.
With 2.9% financing on 6 Chevy cars. Lumina, Cavalier, Monte Carlo, Camaro, Prism, and Metro.
And 2.9% on 6 Chevy trucks. Blazer, S10, Tracker, Venture Minivan, Astro Van, and G-Van.
But hurry, because 2.9% financing won't last long.
So do you think they got it?
Oh, yeah, they got it.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you doth love me most, Goneril?
Sir, I love you more than word can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty.
Regan, speak.
She comes too short. I find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness love.
Now, What shall Cordelia speak?
I brought unto you a treasure of Coca-Cola, colder than a witch's extremities.
You rule, my fairest daughter.
Welcome back to Samford Stadium. Scott Griffin, Colin Hutto here. And normally we give you some information at the half and show you some things, but we thought this week we'd show you some of the hard work of the Samford band and also the Jacksonville State University band. So enjoy a few minutes here of Samford University's marching band.
Frank Grizzle, Sonny King Toyota. If I were putting together the key ingredients to a successful business, there'd only be three. The right vehicles, the right prices, and unsurpassable service. We've been honored through the years with numerous awards, including the Parts, Service, and Sales Excellence Awards, and now our 5th President's Award. But the truth is, the greatest award of all is you, a happy and satisfied customer. At Sonny King Toyota, we want to earn your business today and for the next 75 years.
Welcome back to Samford Stadium. Scott Griffin, Colin Hutto. We just showed you some of the Bulldogs band. Now let's take a look at the outstanding Jacksonville State Gamecocks band here performing in the mud at Samford Stadium. That's a little bit of the band there of Jacksonville State and under the lights here at Samford Stadium, but good to see both bands doing very well. We don't show enough of them. There's some of the first half stats. Samford with 9 first downs to Jacksonville State's 5. The rushing yard is dominated by Samford, passing just the same for Jacksonville State, although the Bulldogs holding them to less than their total, averaging 260 a game and holding them to 98, Colin, and turnovers 1 apiece. That's why we have a close football game, but they're really neutralizing Kirby, although he's had a couple of drops, including one that was a touchdown.
Yeah, you're right. He should have had a touchdown on that pass, but the pass was dropped by Hamilton. Hit him right in the hands. He was wide open deep. And really hurt Jacksonville State, and Samford was extremely fortunate to avoid that bullet.
All right, so there are the numbers. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get ready for the second half kickoff here. The Bulldogs on top of the Gamecocks, 7-0, trying for a sweep of the in-state schools for the first time since 1966. Stay with us. You're watching ACN Sports.
Of all the places you'd want your mind to take you, the bank probably isn't one of them. That is, unless they're giving away $100 worth of free stuff. At AmSouth, we are. Come by or call us anytime at 1-800-AmSouth to open a relationship checking account, and we'll throw in $100 in freebies. Now why bank anywhere else? Relationship checking with $100 worth of free stuff. From the relationship people, AmSouth Bank.
A meteor? How close? I'm on my way.
Superman!
I forgot the kid's Coca-Cola. Excuse me.
Thanks, Mom. You're super.
Welcome back to Samford Stadium. Scott Griffin here, Colin Hutto, and we're about ready for the second half kickoff. The Bulldogs on top, 7-0, and to kick for Jax State, John Howard, the freshman out of Lafayette, Georgia. Deep for the Bulldogs, their first kickoff return of the game.
It is.
Brewer and Joe Ackett. Brewer, 28th in the country in kickoff returns, averaging 23.5 per return. Howard approaches and kicks. Ackland's got it at the 10. Good block there by John Schneider. Ackland with a nice return to the 25-yard line. 15-yard return for Ackland. There are your starters: Rackley, Brewer, Wright, Pointer, Salter, Knox, your skill player for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10, Samford. Bryant, West, Stewart, Dudley, Duplantis is the ever-improving offensive line. Judd Jernigan actually getting the start here in the second half. The former started till he hurt himself and had surgery after the game won. 3 wide receiver set, I formation. Jax State threatening to blitz. Rackley pitches it to nobody. Picked up and a touchdown. Rackley had pitched it to nobody, but that will come back. The touchdown will not be by Zavon Garth because Rackley's knees were on the ground. Let's see if they were. Rackley, that's not a good call at all.
Now Samford got lucky right there.
Samford got a break there in a huge way.
Well, I don't understand the call. They're giving the ball to Jacksonville State. I don't get this.
They're saying it is a fumble, but that he was down, unless the player
who scooped it
and put his knee down.
Yeah, if you can see
show the replay again, Anthony, and let it go a little bit. Maybe we'll see if Garth's knee hit. All right. that may be what they called. Garth's knee went down as he picked it up. Because it certainly wasn't even close that Rackley knee was down. Rackley pitched it to nobody. 1st and 10, a big break here right off the bat for Jax State. Emil Jackson on the pitch. He's outside. He's wrestled out of bounds. John Buchanan on the tackle. Jackson will get 3 on that side.
Well, start the second half. This is a huge test for that Samford defense. Offense putting them in a tight spot.
Kirby, Bill Morris, Allen Hamilton, and Looney, your starters. 2nd and 7 from the 17. Kirby under center. 3 wide receivers set, both backs standing up. Hamilton in motion now. Samford adjusting as they see the motion. Kirby, 5-step drop, going deep. That's way out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Kirby's pass intended for number 1, Ronald.
Kirby's thrown 24 times. He averages 42 passes a game. He's only completed 9 today.
3rd down.
Haas is 6'4", 319. He's the biggest of that front with Benton, Ingram, Childress, and Moreland. Third and 7. Kirby, 3-step drop, hits his man, but Buchanan hits him simultaneously, and he'll be short of the 1st down. Kirby found his man, Caldwell, who gets his 2nd catch. But he'll only get 4 yards on the play.
And Jax State's going to go for it. This is a huge play for Samford. This will be a great moral victory. You see the linebackers for the Bulldogs right there, Garrett, Bishop, and Wilder across the inside.
4th down and 3. Kirby, high snap, throws it out to Hamilton, makes one man miss, he will score. And the turf coming into play there. Buchanan went out aggressively, and Hamilton to stop. Buchanan slipped, and that's all he needed as Joey Hamilton takes it in from 13 yards out for the touchdown.
Well, again, Samford facing the same thing they did last week. They go into halftime leading 13-0. Troy State comes out and goes up 14-13. It looks like Jax State is about to tie this football game. Another gut check for the Samford offense when they come back out on the field.
The extra point is up, and it's good. Brad Prince puts it through, and we have a tied football game after the fumble by Jake Rackley. 7-0 Samford Jax State. We'll be back.
Student section for tonight.
Samford Stadium here. We now have a tie game within a minute and 16 seconds after the fumble. Jax State takes it in for the touchdown. Kirby to Hamilton. 7-all game. Howard will kick. Deep is Ackland and Brewer. There's the kick. Brewer has it, and he slipped down at the 9. So Jax State riding some confidence right now. Samford starts at the 9.
And that's a boost Samford didn't want to give Jax State. They had done a good job keeping Jax State off the board, but again, with the sudden change with the turnover, Jax State takes advantage of it. And again, we got to see if that offensive line is going to come back and play like they did last week.
Split receivers, high formation, 1st and 10. Hand off to Brewer, around right in. He's got room and knocked out of bounds with Brewer. Pick up positive yardage over about 5 for Rashad Brewer, the walk-on freshman from Montgomery.
And it's good to be able to have that tall sweep. Samford really didn't have an outside running game until Brewer got in there. You see the linemen for the Gamecocks: Granville, Duplan, Worthington, and Garth. Starting defense for Jax State.
Mike Kane charting the plays. Actually, that's Keith Williams and Bill Gray signaling in the play. 2nd and 5. 3 wide receiver set: Carr, Pointer, and Salter. They hand it off. Cadell Wright inside. Football loose. Still on the ground. They're blowing it dead. Wright was on the ground, they say. So Samford, who has not had many turnovers at all. Let's see what happens.
He's down.
He's down there.
3rd down.
Freeman, Buford, Andrews, your linebackers for the Gamecocks. Very active group back there. 3rd and 1. Wright with 7 carries for 33 yards. High formation. Cadell gets it, burst off right guard, and he's got the 1st down. The tackle made by Ryan Freeman. Gordon Hewley Mims again with almost 400 tackles in his career. James also the other safety.
And when it's 3rd and short, Cadell Wright is pretty much money in the bank. You know he's going to get positive yardage. He gets the 2 or 3 needed there for the Samford 1st down.
1st and 10 from the 23. Pointer to the left. Carr up top. Salter in the slot. Gamecocks looking like they want to bring the blitz, and Rackley trying to option out of it, or audible out of it, I should say. And that would have gone, boy.
Yep.
If Brewer gets past that man, number 41, Andrews, he had all kind of room. So Salter was there in the middle, but Andrews with a nice open field tackle.
That was a nice stick, and you're absolutely right. If Andrews doesn't make that play, that one's off to the races, and that's a good defensive play by Jax State.
Rackley made the right audible. They just didn't have the...
Let's go deep. Let's go, Dogs.
Second and 8. Hand off the right, stuck. Right there at his tracks. Excellent play by number 30, Angelo Pace, the backup junior defensive end, and he just stops right and then picks up his legs. That's a picture-perfect tackle.
That's a great play. He plays off the block and makes a great stick on right. That's an outstanding defensive lineman play.
Pace out of Buford, Georgia. James Griffith checks in. Michael Watson out for the Dogs. James Griffith wide out to the left. Former tailback. 3rd and 9. Pitch back to Russell. And Samford with a conservative call there on 3rd and 9. Not one to make a mistake. Russell dropped for no gain. And Samford, Cadell Wright rarely misses a block, but he missed that one as Nasasha James came up and made that play.
Yeah, and Jerome really didn't have a chance to get anything out of that play. 2 Jax State defenders out there to make the tackle.
Howard on the kick. Excuse me, Holmes on the kick, I should say. Kicks it off. Bounces to the 29. Parker picks it up. And he's dropped there. Nice open field tackle by Fred Bishop.
By number 3, Parker. He's tackled by number 17, Fred Bishop. He's assisted by number 27, Jim Whaley.
48-yard kick for Holmes.
Take over 1st and 10.
7-all with 10:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jax State has another possession.
AM
We're happy to have WDJC AM 1260 as our radio home for football season. You can hear all the action live beginning 15 minutes prior to kickoff, all the way through the postgame show with Coach Pete Hurt.
Montressa Kirby, 3 wide receiver set. He looks like he's played a game, doesn't he? Hands off to Morris inside, and he's got running room in there as they pierce the middle. Jay Morris, the fullback, 6 foot, 193 pounds. Not your prototypical size for a fullback in a passing offense, but an excellent receiver.
Second down.
And that's only the 13th rush for Morris this season. That's the first he's had this game. He had 14th rush, 12 coming into this game.
Morris 2 carries for 5 yards now. 2nd and 3. 3 wide receiver set. In motion, Will Barton. Handoff, Morris again, left tackle. Had room there, but Lance Langdale submarined and stuck out a hand and tripped up number 34. Morris with back-to-back carries. That probably hadn't happened all year. He's a sophomore out of Huntsville. Actually, Fred Bishop got the tackle.
Now, in the 6 games that he had played coming into this game, again, only 12 rushes, 2 a game. So he has already beat his average of 2 rushes per game in this game of 3 rushes. Thank you.
3rd and 2. Short 2. Fans getting into it a bit. Cheerleaders trying to get him in. Samford would love a stop here on 3 and out. Kirby runs it, and they'll have it. Nice play, Bishop. Colin Horace scraping down from his tackle position as well.
Kirby on the keeper. He's tackled by number 17.
And that's no gain.
By number 98, Colin Horace. 4th down.
I don't think Jax State will chance that. So the Bulldogs halt the Gamecocks.
That's a big defensive stand. We needed that. Jax State was getting pumped up after that play they just made on Samford, so that's a big defensive stand.
And when a passing team that only runs a handful of times a game, 29 a game, but a lot of it's draws and delays.
Right.
They're just not used to running a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. They don't get many reps. Oh, James Taylor. How did he miss the ball? Russell catches it. And he ran right into Howard.
He went right at the punter instead of going to the spot in front of the punter.
You want to say it's a good play, but it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Because Taylor's there, and he just didn't get over far enough. You don't see, here, if we see it again, Anthony, Taylor is running at the punter. The shorter angle is running to block the kick. You don't run at the punter. You run to the spot where he's going to kick it. See right here. If he goes more out to where he's going to kick it, he blocks it. He runs at the punter and runs into him.
Yep, the spot is out in front of the punter. You're exactly right. Instead of, it's not like he's going for a sack, which he's used to doing, running at the quarterback. You run to the spot where the ball will be kicked.
Right.
Not to where the punter is standing when he catches the ball.
You know, probably 13 yards deep. You put your eye on that spot, and you go towards that and lay out.
It's about 2.5 yards in front of where the punter catches the football.
So a big mistake there. So 1st down. So the turnover on the fumble, and then that's almost like a turnover because Samford's going to get the ball. Kirby, play action, got a man open. Nice play inside for the 1st down. 14-yard gain. Gerard Looney, the freshman tight end, with his first catch of the day.
1st down.
There it is. Nice little play action.
And Looney is not a favorite target of Kirby. That's only the 8th catch for Looney. So caught Samford off guard. He does not throw to the tight end very much at all.
6'1", 202, not a prototypical tight end either. Nothing's prototypical in this pass offense. They want speed on the field. 7:07:49 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jax State on the move from the 31 of Samford. Pitch back, Jackson. Good block there. Jackson's in the secondary. He will score. Emil Jackson dives in for the touchdown. So a team that rarely runs breaks a long one from 30 yards.
Jacksonville State definitely has momentum on their side now. They go into the half down.
Good block there by Morris.
It was. Put Garrett
missed
down.
Tackle. And the problem is there was only 1 missed tackle, 2 now. but you want more than 2 missed tackles on a sweep.
There's
not enough guys around the ball.
John Howard holding number 11, Montrezl McCurdy.
So as pumped up as Samford was last week, now the opponent has that advantage here at Jax State. 14-7. The Gamecocks have put 2 touchdowns on the board in the third quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching ACN Sports.
Unspoken words. Unconditional love. Hopes and dreams. Sold in over 190 countries around the world, Coca-Cola is proud to be among the things we share.
Just a simple toss. Daniel Jackson, great lead block. Morris on Alvin Jarrett. Missed tackle coming up by Ackland on a nice block. And he's off to the races, diving for pay dirt. And the senior from Marietta has a touchdown. And Jax State has the lead. And now Samford for the year has been outscored 82-7 in the third quarter.
That's not a good average. That's down 75 points in the third quarter. That's something
alone.
I know that's something Pete is not happy about.
82-7 in third quarter points. So Samford has scored 1 touchdown all year in the third quarter. So Howard will kick. 14-7 Gamecocks over the Bulldogs. A kick deep to Brewer. He'll have a chance to run at the 5. Straight ahead blocking. Let's see what happens. 20. He's very good at this, slipping out to the close to the 30. Brewer to the 29. 24-yard return for Rashad. Those pants were white at the beginning of the game. Now they're brown.
Fans, Samford's next home game is
Bill Gray
2 weeks from
sending
today.
in Michael Watson. There's a guy that has ability written all over him, but that means nothing. He just had trouble catching the football, had it in high school, and it is carried over to college. He'll make the great catch and miss the easy one. And they could use a guy like him. He's a tight end now where he could really develop if he can catch the ball. Rackley, he's wide open. Rackley didn't find him. Now there's a case where it may be just what I was talking about. Watson was wide open in the middle of the field, but Rackley may have thought, I don't want to throw it to him. He throws to Salter instead, who had fallen down and was going to be covered more. And, you know, who knows what happened, really, but that could have gone through his mind because Watson has dropped many balls this year.
Very well could have. It might have been a predetermined pass route. He knows who he's going to go to. He didn't come off. But that very well could have figured into Rackley's thinking.
I think they may come back to that. Roger Carr probably put a note to that. Watson was wide open. Rackley, the shuttle pass to Russell, makes one man miss. He's got room. He's in the secondary. 40-41. First down there. 12-yard gain, Rackley to Russell.
And that's a nifty bit of running. That's what we're used to seeing Jerome Russell do. You see the whoopie pass to Russell, makes a man miss there. Nice move. And then he gets upfield for the first down. You see good blocking out in front to allow Jerome to get the first down.
First and 10 Bulldogs. Their 10th of the game unofficially. 7:08 and counting to go in the third quarter. Jax State on top 14-7. Watson to the left. Moore and Pointer up top. Play action. Rackley throws, delivers. Too wide. Moore ran in. Rackley threw it as if he were supposed to cut out. I don't know who made that mistake.
Come on, Jake!
Second down and 10.
Well, that Samford offense just got to find a way to make it happen. They've had a few things go against them with the turnover. Now they're down by 7. They have just got to find a way to get this ball down the field and get it in the end zone. We need to get momentum back.
Brian Holmes getting ready on the sideline.
Been doing that all game long.
Second and 10. Pointer Salter the short side of the field of twin set. Rackley rolling. Throws to his man Whaley. He's dropped.
Rackley's pass complete to number 27, Jim Whaley. He's tackled by number 43, Alton Murphy. Third down.
And Murphy was simply not fooled on that play. They ran the play action and threw the ball to Whaley. Murphy not fooled at all there to drop Whaley in his tracks.
So Rackley, 8 pass attempts, 4 completions, 49 yards. Third and 12.
And you ain't got no mud on you. Come on there. Huh? Come up there.
In motion, Salter, Rackley, play action's got time. Wide open, Salter on the scene. 40, 30, 20, Salter running, fumble, and it is recovered by Jax State. Salter loses it on the 1. 59-yard play, and Salter, that's a great play, whoever stripped it. And here we go.
Well, you see Salter downfield, he is well aware of the pursuit coming from the middle of the field. What he does not feel is the pursuit behind him. You'll see 27 Gordon come across and make a great play stripping the football.
And it almost went out of bounds. And look there, Mims all over it. And has the intelligence enough not to just flop down with his feet on the back of the end line. He'll just fall on it there. Boy, Samford had a big play there. Go for naught. Salter with a fumble. 3 turnovers, or 2 real turnovers. One as big as right here in the third quarter. Jax State from the 20. First and 10. Kirby slip sliding, skating. Got room. He'll get 7. Jason Daly on the tackle.
Kirby keeps the ball.
He's tackled by number 91, Jason Daly.
Kirby knows what to do with the football. I mean, he is the 5th leading rusher, 4th leading rusher on the team. But if you don't take into account his sack yardage, he has rushed for 174 yards this year. That's the 2nd best on the team. So he knows what to do with the football when he plays it down.
Very dangerous. Second and 3. Motion is Hamilton. 2 wide receivers set. Kirby drops back, flags down where holding would be called. Kirby will get a lot of yardage, but I think we'll have holding back there.
Kirby keeps the ball
on Whitney Polson, who is adjusting his shoulder. His jersey's coming off. So yeah, he's got a great play.
That's a good sign when you got exposed shoulder pad on a defensive lineman. That's a pretty good giveaway that there was some type of holding on the play. And that's good to see. There's only so much adversity a team can absorb. You have the rough punter, you have the fumble just before a touchdown is scored. There's only so much you can absorb. Samford's defense needs to make a big stop here and allow the offense to do something, get the ball back in the end zone. We proved we can do it. Now we've got to make a big stop here and get back on the field offensively.
Go ahead.
.458 to go and counting, 14-7. Kirby drops back, looking, still looking, over the middle, and too low for the intended receiver, Cedric Allen. Good-looking freshman at 6'5", from Seal, Alabama.
And Kirby had plenty of time. Samford's really struggling getting pressure on Kirby there. I know they have to be tentative of his ability to run the football, so they're real concerned with containing him. But we're really not getting much pressure on the quarterback right now.
3rd and 20. Samford in their dime package. Nick Spina, Mike Williams in. Jason Long comes in at linebacker. They fling it out. Too tall out there for the intended receiver, and that is Herman Bell, freshman from Tuscaloosa. So the holding penalty helps Samford and might get him in some field position here.
Yeah, we ought to have the ball in the 50 or inside Jax State territory after this punt, and that's a big defensive stand right there. Again, the holding penalty did help, but Samford makes a good defensive stand, and we need to turn this into points with the good field position we ought to have after this punt.
Howard on to kick. Off the side of his foot a bit. And Williams says get away from it, and it'll deaden right there at the 42.
Howard's punt.
So only a 31-yard kick. Samford with a break. And let's see if they can capitalize and try to tie the football game. They trail by a touchdown. Next week we'll be on the road against Tennessee Martin. You can hear that game on WDJC AM with myself, Colin Hutto, Mickey Tumlin. And then back for 2 more at home. Homecoming with Elon College and then Western Carolina. .4:19 to go, third quarter. Rackley. And around to Watson. He's got room. 40 and knocked down. Loses the football. And Jax State has it. And again, just a snake bit year for Michael Watson. He's 6'4", 215. There was one guy out there, and he looked like he just ran right into him.
Yeah, he had a tackler.
And a good tackle and fumble.
It looked like he had a tackler magnet on him right there, and you hate to see that. Like I said before, there's only so much adversity this Samford defense can absorb. You can only go to the well so many times and without getting bit. Samford's been lucky up until now. Hopefully they can stop him one more time on this turnover.
Boy, all kind of chaos on the sideline. Khalif Stamp's not in the game. Manis in there with the first team D. Colin Harris drops his back. I saw Peter say #1 D, but Jason Long and the second team linebackers are in there. 14-7 Jax State. The delay to Days, and look at Harris come in there. Sophomore out of Mobile, a good solid player. You know his name, Buzz, because he's just there to tie up blockers and create havoc and make a play every now and then.
Yeah, that's not the big tackle position. That's anchoring that defensive line, keeping offensive linemen off linebackers.
Had an excellent year last year as a true freshman. 2nd and 11. Kirby, pitch back. Emil Jackson, the same play scored on. He gets outside before Buchanan drops in. Another good play by Jackson.
He stopped by number 38, John Buchanan.
And he'll get 4 over there. Jackson now 4 carries, 37 yards. That's like 100 in this offense.
Yes, it is.
Mike Williams and Pete Hurt head-to-head in the first meeting.
Well, Jackson coming into the game only had 33 yards rushing, so he's bettered his season total in this game.
3rd and 7. Shotgun for Kirby from the 42. 4-man rush. Kirby fakes the delay. Throwing. Got a man. Picked off. Joe Ackland still on his feet. To the 50. To the 43-yard line. Joe Ackland. The tip drill coming in there. Off the hands of Ronald Bonner.
You're exactly right. Joe Ackland, what a great catch. He does take advantage of the practice they use on the tip drill and then makes an outstanding run. You see him making a couple people people miss for the offensive lineman tackles, and that's the momentum swing that Samford's offense needed. They have great field position. They dodged another bullet, and that's great football to dodge that many bullets in one football game.
There he is, the senior out of Sheffield, Alabama. And that's big because Samford had been reeling with a bunch of turnovers here in the 3rd, and then the senior helps turn it around. 1st and 10. Rackley, hands off. Russell, right guard. He'll get positive yards. Still on his feet. Like a worm in the mud over there is the Nat. And he'll get about 7 over there to the 37, 38-yard line. We'll call it 6 for Russell. He's now 5 carries for 22 yards for the day, unofficially. Pete Hurt still remaining calm. Will be much more calm if his team could put in this touchdown. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, trailing by 7. Salter in motion. Handoff, Russell makes one-man miss in the secondary. Pointer with a block, couldn't get there, but the pursuit caught up to Russell, but he's got a huge gain. Tackle made by Mims again, and the net breaks loose there.
And I think you're exactly right. You see Jerome Russell making a great run here, but those offensive coaches had to tell the offensive unit, remain calm. We almost had a touchdown. We can score on these people. Just go out and play your game, and we'll be able to put the ball in the end zone. Hopefully you're going to see that right here, but not pushing the panic button on the Samford offense.
Russell, 6 carries, 46 yards. Rashad Brewer back in to give the Nat a blow. 3 wide receiver set. I formation, pitch back, Brewer, football on the ground, picked up, no, blown dead there. Jax State has it. Can you believe this?
No, I can't.
Rackley's fumble recovered by number 9, Warren Blair. Gamecocks take over first and 10 from the 21.
Unreal. The pitch back behind Brewer, and Rackley just having trouble pitching the ball properly. Although certainly it was catchable, but it was to his right shoulder pad running left. A bit more concern now on that face.
Well, there's got to be concern. They ought to be at least tied in this football game, 14-14. And when you keep doing things like that, it's going to be tough to win a football game.
Samford with 3 fumbles in this third quarter alone.
Did the ref ever correct his...
First and 10.
Yeah.
Pitch back. Jackson. Collared by Eric Payne. The junior from Fitchburg, Mississippi. I mean, he's like a starter. He was a starter for a couple of years. And he and Bishop split time back there. He's excellent. So he collars Jackson on a gain of about a yard.
And coming into this game, Samford had only put the ball on the ground 11 times, less than 2 fumbles per game. And like you said, just in the third quarter, we have had 3 fumbles lost to Jacksonville State.
Not normal. 2nd and 9. 3 wide receiver set. Play action. Kirby rolling. Got his man Morris. Too tall. Jason Long was there, but a little bit higher than Morris's 6-foot frame could stretch for. And it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Gamecocks, leading 14-7. 31 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And Samford bringing in their dime package, bringing in the defensive line to rush the quarterback. And hopefully they'll be able to get pressure and not let Kirby get the ball off for a first down. Are you okay?
Kirby in the shotgun. Split receivers.
If he boxes up the field, we just have to
throws it to his man Hamilton. Short arms it a bit. Bill Gray talking to Jake Rackley. Bryant with a slap on the head for the senior. And is Mike Kane going to come in?
He's warming up.
He may have been just taking a shotgun snap from Ben Stewart, who's getting ready. We'll see. Russell has his heels on the 40. Howard, the line of scrimmage, is the 23. Howard, off the side of his foot. Hits at the 38. It'll roll to the 49. 26-yard punt for Howard. So Samford gets a break again. Jacksonville State's yearning to get the Bulldogs back in the game.
Well, that was a big help right there. 26-yard punt giving Samford the ball on the Jacksonville State 49-yard line. And we have got to do something. First of all, we got to protect the football. Second of all, we need to get some points on the board from this possession.
1st and 10 from the 49. Watson split left. Salter to the right. I formation. Play action. Rackley going deep to Watson. Misses it. Little bumping down there. But I don't mind a no call there because I don't mind a little bumping on that. Not enough to affect anything. Let's see.
No,
right there a little bit, but nothing incidental.
That's just two guys going for the football right there. That's really, like you say, a good no call. If Jake just lays the ball a little bit more outside, maybe Watson has a chance to get that, to make that catch. But unfortunately couldn't come up with it.
Rackley, shotgun, pitch back. Brewer didn't fool anybody. Specifically didn't fool Angelo Pace. That's no gain. And we're headed to the fourth quarter. Brewer with the catch. But Samford trails by 7, so the third quarter, an Achilles heel again for the Bulldogs. We'll see if they can come back in the fourth. You're watching ACN Sports.
Where can you get 2.9% financing on 12 different models?
The big value, big savings event at your Southern Chevy dealers, where we've made buying easier than ever because Chevrolet has just authorized
2.9% financing or $12.50 cash back on S10.
That's 2.9 financing or $12.50 cash back on any S10 we've got.
But hurry in now if you want to get 2.9 financing on S10, Blazer, Venture, Tracker.
So do you think they got it?
Oh yeah, they got it.
One has a swing that is breathtakingly simple. Another is wickedly precise. One is a ferocious competitor. Another is an artist. About the only thing they have in common is a love for the game and their Rolex timepieces.
Rolex watches from Bromberg's, Birmingham and Montgomery.
14-7, Jax State on top. Third down and 12. Rackley running for his life. Still running. Throws wide open his pointer. He's got it. It's a touchdown. There's no flags on the play. Rackley with the improvisation. 51 yards. The touchdown to the freshman, John Pointer.
Pointer was out there by himself. There was no one in the same zip code as him, and there's a flag now on the play. I don't know if it's going to be celebration on Samford's part. That's a bit ridiculous. If it is, I don't know what the penalty's about. But that is an outstanding improvisation by Rackley, scrambling to get time. Found Pointer wide open. What a great play for Samford. Let's see what this flag's all about.
John Pointer with the catch from 51 yards out for the touchdown from Rackley, who ran for his life, escaped pressure, and then on the run, threw it perfectly to Pointer. There he is, the freshman from Mississippi. He's so young, he don't even know how to pose for the camera. Well, touchdown is good, and we'll see what the flag is about.
They called unsportsmanlike conduct on Samford for celebration. I'm going to tell you that.
Well, I didn't see any excessive. Well, I think the officials, and just an editorial comment, have gone nuts a little bit with this rule. Well, when you can't celebrate a touchdown, you got problems in college football.
That's exact. I didn't see any taunting. I watched Pointer after he caught the ball, and he was certainly celebrating with his teammates, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, there was no pelvic pumping thing out there by themselves, which I understand.
That's bad. I didn't see.
I think we've gone a little nuts with this rule.
I would be interested to see who they called that on. If they called that on Pointer, that's ridiculous because he's celebrating with his teammate.
And if Pete Hurt wants to find out exactly that.
I'd like to know.
See what he said.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's a touchdown. They marked that off on the PAT, which makes this now a 35-yard field goal.
And this concerns Pete because, you know, now the extra point is 36 yards. It is down, it is up, it is good. So Jared Cook. We don't watch it, Jared. He's dancing around too, celebrating. And that's a big kick for the freshman from Hoover. That's a pressure-packed extra point. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're tied up, folks. We got a fourth quarter worth watching. Stay with us. You're watching ACN Sports.
The quality and dependability of Toyota cars and trucks is no big secret. But what you might not know is what sets Sonny King Toyota apart from all other dealers. As a 4-time recipient of the Toyota President's Award, Sonny King Toyota has been recognized for unmatched excellence in customer satisfaction. What this means to you is that every department is performing at top level so you receive the best buying experience. Sonny King Toyota, where quality and commitment mean something.
And here it is again, the touchdown. Rackley making a great play there, and then watch the throw on the run. About to fall out of bounds. Pointer there, and Pete Hurt still arguing. That is what they called the flag on. Pointer, now watch this.
That's retarded.
That's exactly what the official told Pete Hurt when Pete Hurt's living.
He ought to be. That's
because
ridiculous.
all Pointer did was throw up a #1 finger, and they threw a flag. That was, here it is again. This is excessive celebration.
They ought to. That's ridiculous. When the referees make themselves this much a part of a football game, that's retarded.
If that's excessive celebration, then I'm not sure I want to watch any college football, because
it's a sin to get excited, man. That's ridiculous.
And I understand the intent of the rule, but they're carrying it out in the wrong way. Emil Jackson caught the ball with his heel on the 12-yard line. But if we could see it again, Anthony, if you've got it. Because the official finally came over to Hurt and showed us, he showed Hurt, we saw it from the press box, because Pete was saying, what did he do? And he raised his finger #1, and that's exactly what Pointer did. Here it is. That is what they called right there. That was excessive celebration.
That's ridiculous. I'm not sure who threw the flag, but I'll guarantee you Pete will be writing a letter to the officiation board, and he ought to. That's a bad call.
And again, we understand the intent, but you got to use your brain a little bit when you're throwing the laundry out there. But you know, not to criticize officials, they have one of the hardest jobs around, and you've been an official, you know that. But that's calling something when there's no need. In any event, James Taylor tracks down Emil Jackson on that pitch, and suddenly the momentum after the touchdown. Roby comes up to help. So they go from the 12 or 13-yard line back to the 8.
Well, the one positive thing about I'm going to say it, I'm going to criticize the referee, a bad call like that is it fires up a Samford team, and they make plays like that. So the one positive is we've made the kick, and now we're fired up. So maybe we can make a positive out of a terrible call.
2nd down and 15. 3 wide receivers set I formation for the Gamecocks. Kirby under center, play action. Looking, chase, throwing, got his man Morris. Good open field tackle by Jason Long. Boy, they came close to really trapping Kirby back there, but his escapability allowed him to get it away. Bishop almost got a sack. You see him there, but Kirby threw it perpendicular to the ground almost. Nice open field tackle by Long. Good play all around.
I was going to say, that's 2 good plays. Kirby makes a great pass. He's being thrown to the ground. And to throw a ball anywhere near a receiver is just a great play on his part. And a great defensive play to stop the Jax State receiver. Now it's 3rd and long for Jacksonville State.
Kirby, I've got 13 out of 28 for only 92 yards. Stopping, looking, tucks it. He's dangerous in the open field. He'll get to the 20. And it'll be 4th down.
4th down.
So the Bulldogs hold again. So now the Samford sideline is jumping a bit after they were so dead in the 3rd quarter.
Well, they had those big plays that got them fired up. That's a good defensive stand. And again, we're going to start hopefully on Jacksonville State's side of the field.
4th and 2. Howard set to kick. Deep is Russell, flanked by Manis and Williams. Boy, they could get a block there. It takes it a long time to get the ball off. And Jax State touches it at the 48. Long could have laid out a block.
Number 54, Rick Carter.
And I don't know how you missed that time, but he did.
From
And I thought when I first saw Howard all game, he takes a long time to get that punt off.
Well, they've been close to several. James Taylor's penalty could have been a block. That was real close to being a block right there. But again, Samford starting on Jacksonville State side of the field. They've got to be pumped up. We need some points right now to take back the lead in this football game.
Samford has an opportunity here, 1st and 10 from the 48. Handoff, Cadell Wright, he's in the secondary. Look at the man throw, the freshman from Fayette. He's got 13 over there. He's to the Jacksonville State 36-yard line.
I think I would keep giving it to Cadell Wright or to Rashad Brewer until Jacksonville State stopped them, because we have momentum at offensive line. Again, it's playing quite a game, as they did last week. They're taking it to that Jacksonville State defensive front, opening nice holes for the running back and getting good yardage.
Cadell Wright, 9 carries, 49 yards. 1st and 10 from the 35. Griffith in motion. Handoff. Rashad Brewer finds a hole, still on his feet. Look at the little man run. Very strong, although he's only 165. He loves to get those legs going. And he just squirted through a nice hole opened up by the offensive line. Dudley there, look at him seal his man on the inside, while Stewart and Duplantis do their thing on the outside. Good turning there. If we could see that again. Exactly. Dudley comes out, then seals his man on the inside, or to the outside, I should say. Watch Dudley there, and then turns it.
Exactly. You see a nice hole. Both the guard and the center make nice blocks. They turn their men inside and outside respectively for a nice hole for Rashad to run the football.
Brewer, 15 carries, 61 yards. Handoff right. He'll stumble forward for the first down. Won't get much. He'll get 3, but he'll get a first down over there.
The banker man is good. Again, money in the bank on that 3rd and short. Cadell Wright is going to get that first down.
They had one for years here, the Mule from Gardendale, Sean Williams, who was just a first down maker. Cadell Wright trying to pick up in his shoe.
Well, Cadell Wright adds another feature. He has the breakaway speed, or the ability to make the longer run, and that's a nice feature.
And he'll only get bigger and stronger. He's only 202 at fullback, 1st and 10. The 24, 3 wide receiver set. They hand to Wright again, trying to follow Dudley on the trap, or the pulling play, I should say. He'll get 3 over there again on that left side. Tackle made by a host of Gamecocks over there. Mims getting dirty again.
2nd down.
I say it's kind of hard to see who made the tackle. Those numbers are getting, jerseys are getting dirty. It's kind of hard to read the numbers on those Jacksonville State uniforms.
Samford now getting close to 150 yards rushing. 2nd and 7. 3 wide receiver set. Fakes the belly play. This time a good pitch to Brewer. He's on the outside, twisting to the 19-yard line.
And off to Rashad Brewer.
He'll get 2.
Tackled by number 4, Eddie Cole. 3rd down.
Well, one thing that celebration penalty did was give Pete Hurt a little more confidence in his field goal kicker. This would be about the same distance. Should Samford have to kick a field goal here, Coach Hurt's got to feel a little more confident if he does have to make that call.
But the only thing is, if you can get a shot, Anthony, when you can, of the area right behind where Rackley and the backs are right now, very chewed up right where that football and snap would be. We'll see. 3rd and 5. Rackley dropping back, swings it to Russell. Got room, trying to get the first, does have it inside the 10. Stuck down there, excellent tackle by Eurocius Parker out of Greenville, Alabama, but not before Russell gets the first down from the 19 to the 9.
And that's one thing that Jerome does quite well. Comes into the game as a 2nd leading receiver, takes a screen pass there on 3rd and about 7, makes a nice first down, gets Samford down inside the 10-yard line. They're on about the 8.5, so it's 1st and goal for the Samford offense.
Russell leads his team in all-purpose yards. He's got 46 running, 22 catching today, and several returning kicks too. 1st and goal, Samford. 8:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Salter in motion, handoff, Cadell Wright. Stuck down, but still spins. He gets a couple. Behind Ben Stewart over there, the senior from Mississippi.
Cadell Wright. He's
to the 6-yard line.
24, Eric Finn, and number 9, Warren Blair.
And this is the area of that offensive line that, again, did a great job last week. I think they're finding their identity. They have good leadership out of the 2 seniors from Mississippi. This is where they have to take charge. This is an offensive lineman's game down here inside the 10-yard line.
2nd and goal. Strong right, split receiver, I formation, the pro set. Hand off, Cadell Wright, stuck immediately, still spinning, he'll get a yard, but nice play there. Orlando Pace, maybe the player of the game for Jax State. He's really been all over the football at the defensive end. Hit right, but again, Cadell with the intelligence enough to spin as soon as he feels contact and get a yard. And it'll be 3rd down and goal.
Well, this is a big play right here for Samford. I'd hate to have to make the decision on whether to go for it or to kick down here inside the 5-yard line. I'd like to see us punch it in right here.
Power formation. Right, Whaley, Brewer. Whaley now in motion. Rackley, option, keeps it to the 2.
What do you do?
Did not pitch. Boy, Samford 1 for 9, if I'm not mistaken, on field goals all year, but he does not hesitate. Nice play there by Mims again. Yeah, he doesn't hesitate. Jared Cook is on to kick.
I think you have to kick right here because I mean, this is the game. You get the clock is the biggest enemy. It's only just under 7 minutes to play in the game, and Samford really needs these points right here.
It's at an angle. Cook, 21-yard field goal attempt. It is up. It's good. Jared Cook, the freshman from Hoover High School, with Samford's only 2nd field goal of the year. We'll take a break. The Bulldogs are on top, 17-14. They've outscored the Gamecocks 10-0 here in the 4th quarter. We'll be back.
Where can you get 2.9% financing on 12 different models?
The big value, big savings event at your Southern Chevy dealers, where we've made buying easier than ever because Chevrolet has just authorized
2.9% financing or $12.50 cash back on S10.
That's 2.9 financing or $12.50 cash back on any S10 we've got.
But hurry in now if you want to get 2.9 financing on S10, Blazer, Venture, Tracker.
So do you think they got it?
Oh yeah, they got it.
Samford on top by 3, 6:34 to go. Here in this game, Jax State had come back from a 7-0 halftime deficit, took the lead 14-7. Samford with 3 turnovers alone. Several blown opportunities in the 3rd quarter, but then boom, turned it right around.
And that's clutch. That's when your back's against the wall, you have to perform. Samford's offense did it. They scored a touchdown, and now that field goal to take the lead back. And now it's up to the defense to win this game for Samford.
Jared Cook at the goal line. To the 20, 25, Buchanan with another tackle.
Big kick is taken by number 32.
He is unbelievable. Herman Bell with the return of 27 yards, and Buchanan, the starting safety. I know Pete Hurt would love to give him a rest on some things, but he just can't. He's making tackles all over the place. Last week, 22 tackles, 11 unassisted, a ton of them on special teams.
He just has a nose for the football. It seems like every time we kick the ball off, we call Buchanan's name for making the stop, and you can't take him out. That's the guy making all the plays.
1st and 10. Kirby in the shotgun. 3 wide receiver set. Dropping back, looking, still on his toes. Puts it away. Good block there. Allen on Marquitz Wilder. And Kirby will get about 4.
2nd down.
Harris trying to put pressure. Langdale misses him. And Kirby runs for 4 yards.
And Jax State going to the hurry up or no huddle offense. And we've just had a hard time getting pressure on Kirby. I don't believe we have a quarterback sack today, if I'm not mistaken.
Kirby dropping back. Rushed by Whitaker, who doesn't break down, and that's a big mistake because there's nobody to stop him over there. And that's actually great closure by Jamel Manis, the freshman from Homewood, because he had tons of area to run, but still short of the first down by 2 yards.
Yeah, you're right. Whitaker comes free through the inside rush, does not contain Kirby. But when he pulled the ball down, it looked like he had clear sailing for the first down easily. And that's nice closure to keep Kirby from making the first down.
You can't just run at Kirby. You better be running under control.
Yeah.
3rd and 2.
Come on, Big D.
Jax State in a shotgun, though. They're saying, hey, we're not going to run it here unless it's going to be under the arm of number 11. Alvin Garrett on the blitz. Kirby rolling. Here comes Payne, who nails Kirby. And a great play by Joe Ackland. Good play all around. Eric Payne nailed Montressa Kirby, who's a bit woozy. But Joe Ackland, watch this hit if it stays long enough. And then Joe Ackland with another fantastic play. The senior from Sheffield, who has an interception, and then that brilliant knockdown.
Well, Ackland baited Kirby that time. He's on the receiver's hip, and as soon as the ball's in the air, he makes a great break to knock the ball away. Great defensive play, good pressure, and a good play in the secondary.
4th down and 2. Howard on the kick. Gets it away. Again, Whaley come close to that one. Russell has it at the 22. Dances, left, right, got room. To the 30, drop 32. 10-yard return for Russell. 43-yard kick. There is Gillespie. And I can't see who that is.
Looks like Fred Bishop.
It is Fred Bishop. Checking him out.
Well, this becomes a game of first downs now. Samford not that interested in scoring. We need first downs to run that clock down. There's 5:11 left in the game. We just need to get some time off of this clock.
Hand off to Cadell Wright. Cadell Wright pierces the middle for another 8-yard gain. And they'd love to just chew up the clock here.
That's exactly right. Jax State's going to have to start burning those timeouts if Samford gets a first down here. They have no choice but to start calling timeouts to try to get the ball back with some time left.
Cadell Wright now 14 carries for 67 yards. 2nd and 3. Rackley, the quarterback, I formation, 3 wide receivers set. Hand off, Brewer. Nothing inside. Skips outside. Got room. First down, Samford. And a nice shot for Rashad. He could have hit to the sidelines, but wants to keep the clock running. So he finds the first down marker, and then
Keep on going,
that's it.
That's exactly right, and that's a good running play. It looked like it was shut down to be short of the first down. But Brewer makes a nice run to get the first down, and like you say, keep it in bounds and keep that clock running.
Smart running by the walk-on freshman. Boy, is Pete Hurt got to be happy with Jim Dudley, a walk-on from Penn State. Chris Wright, a safety. Rashad Brewer. Jim Whaley last year. He's got 4 quality players just right there off the top of my head. 1st and 10. Handoff, right. Well, play is stopped there. Flags down. We'll see what that's all about. 4:01 to go. Samford on top by 3. We'll see what the flag's about. Illegal procedure on the dog.
The next home game for Samford is going to be Saturday, November 15th. Samford hosts Elon College for homecoming. The game begins at 1:30 that Saturday afternoon, and that's 2 weeks from today. For those for those keeping score at home. You can get information on all the homecoming weekend activities by calling Samford Alumni Office.
1st and 15 from the 40. Who wrote that? Twins, right, Rackley. Pitch back, Russell dropped in his track, slipped down, but the tackle would have been made anyway by Tony Gordon, the senior from Huntsville. So they lose about 5 more there. .316 to go. 17-14. Samford on top. Clock running at 10. Samford may have to burn a timeout here.
Boy, you hate to see
They're going to have to. You're going to wait. .255 to go. Samford burns a timeout on 2nd and long. Let's talk about it here with Bill Clay and Roger Carr. We'll take a break. The Bulldogs trying to burn the clock and get a win here. The first time in 31 years over Troy State and Jax State. You're watching ACN Sports.
Has a swing that is breathtakingly simple. Another is wickedly precise. One is a ferocious competitor. Another is an artist. About the only thing they have in common is a love for the game and their Rolex timepieces.
Rolex watches from Bromberg's, Birmingham and Montgomery.
Oh, baby.
Manus on the right, Alvin Garrett on the left. A couple of young dogs, defenders, hoping they don't go back on that wet tundra. 17-14. I don't know. It looks like Green Bay up here, doesn't it? It's not as cold. Shoot upfield, the way football should be played, the way I know you enjoyed it. The kick and slot from the defensive tackle position. 2nd and 20. 135. Football loose, but Rackley falls on it. Jernigan, I think, ends up with it, though. Boy, you don't want that at all.
That'd be bad.
Here it is again. Drops it. Looks like he had it there, but somehow Jernigan ends up with it. Timeout, Jax State now. We'll keep it here. It's going to be 3rd and forever.
Samford's Weekly Call-In Show. Touchdown Calls airs on TV this Wednesday night, right before the replay of today's game. Touchdown Calls comes your way at 7:30 on Alabama Cable Network. Bulldogs coach Pete Hurt and my friend Scott Griffin will take your calls and comments live on ACN.
17-14, Samford on top. 2:43 to go now. 3rd down. Again, 2:43 is an eternity when you got Montrez and Kirby throwing passes.
And that's what makes it scary. Jax State not out of the game with the ability to throw the football downfield and the ability of Kirby to run and get out of bounds. So it'll be interesting. These last couple of minutes are going to be very interesting, or probably last about 20 minutes.
Third down. They got to get to the Jax State 45. They're on their own 34. Rackley in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. They hand off to Brewer, and he'll run. He'll get a. He's on the outside. Brewer making a lot of people miss. Run out there at the 42. The clock will run though.
Number 28, Rashad Brewer. He's
So that's
taken out of bounds by number 24, Eric.
And he'll get 8 on that kick.
And that's one that looked like it was going nowhere. Brewer makes 8 yards out of what looked like a play that should have been stopped for no gain. And I believe Jax State has used their 2nd timeout. And they have.
Timeout,
That's just a
Jacksonville
clock
State, their
stopper.
2nd timeout.
4th down for Samford. And the offense staying on the field for some reason. And now the punting team
Another
heading
score
on.
of interest with 5 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the game. Louisiana Tech 26, Alabama 13.
2:26 to go. The new scoreboard from last year, courtesy of the fine folks at Coca-Cola. Always
In the punt, number 3, Brian Holmes. Back to receive is number 3,
happened in that marketing
Parker.
meeting.
You're a commercial waiting to happen.
Always Coca-Cola.
That's right.
That's it. Very simple, but very effective.
Rememberable. Or memorable. I guess that's the word I was looking for. I'm a PE major. I didn't pay attention in English.
Holmes on to kick. Beautiful snap. 2-step drop, kicks it away. Good kick. No chance for return. And that's out at the 20. Not very long. Only 37 yards, but good. No chance at all for anybody to hurt you away from the receiver. And Jax State will have to go 80 yards to try to tie it or try to win it with 2:18 to go. Certainly doable, though, with their offense when the trigger has the finger of Montrezl Kirby on it.
No question. It's going to be a very interesting 2 minutes and 18 seconds to see if the Samford defense can keep them from Jax State from being able to kick a field goal to score a touchdown.
Jax State sends trips to the left, one to the right. They'll go full wide receiver set this whole way, I would think. Bishop now at tackle. Kirby rolling. First sack of the day. Lamar Whitaker. Also Bishop. A lot of guys know, but Whitaker with the sack. And for Lamar, his 4th sack of the year.
And you'll see good heat by that Samford front. Whitaker just throws his man down, comes around, makes the sack. That could not have come at a better time.
First sack of the game, but it makes it 2nd and 15. Kirby shotgun. Dropping back, runs out of it again. Still running, and he gets to the 31. He's almost got a first down, very close. Buchanan right on the tackle. He's to the 31, and I think he does have a first down. So a 15-yard run for Kirby. Clock shows 1:40. And again, that's where he's dangerous.
Yep.
He'll just tuck it and run it. Kirby flips it out. Morris in the flat. Makes one man miss. Knocked down at the 39. Flags are down. Could be holding on Jax State.
Big time hold. And you're going to see a technique if we have the replay of what offensive linemen will do when they're getting bull rushed. If they can't stop the man, you'll see here, watch Whitaker on 79.
Yeah,
that's a straight takedown.
Yeah.
A lot of times they won't call that. A lot of times they will. That's what offensive linemen is taught. If you're getting bold, grab the guy by the shoulder pads,
fall back,
just pull him over on you. It looks like you're just getting run over, which you are, but you're keeping that man from making the sack.
On the offense, 10 yards, still first.
Chandler Morley, senior out of Noonan, Georgia, and 1st and a mile. They're on the 12. They got to get to the 42. About 30 yards.
127. That's some good ciphering right there.
1:27 to go in the game. This will be a nice win for the Bulldogs. Another heartbreaking loss to the Gamecocks, but a tough one for Samford off an emotional win last week, but a good one because it evens your record, and it does come after, you know, on the heel. It's tough to play a Troy State and Jax State back-to-back. I know it's in-state rivals and it's easy to get pumped up for, but it's a lot of preparation and a lot of emotional, mental draining.
And this is a taxing game with as much passing as Jacksonville State does. Everybody on that field is tired. That defensive line has tried to rush for an entire game. The secondary's been chasing receivers all over the field, and on a muddy field, that makes it even worse because you're weighted down. It's hard to run on the muddy field. Your feet stick in that mud. So this has been a hard-fought game for both teams, but I know that they will all sleep well tonight.
1st and 30 from the 12. 17-14 Samford. Kirby throws it out. Caught. Run out of bounds. 24. Spina on the tackle. Would love to have drug him down without getting out of bounds. The catch made by Jason Stanford, a freshman from Augusta, Georgia.
2nd down.
So they get 13 of it back. More importantly, the clock stopped for the 1:16. Well, you want to play outside in if you're a cornerback over there. You know what I mean? And make sure he doesn't go out of bounds.
Well,
make him run on the inside of the field.
You'd like that, but you know it's awful difficult when the guy's sprinting straight for the sideline. Keep him in bounds. Excuse me.
Kirby drops back. He'll run it again. Nifty running by Kirby, and he'll pick up another 7 or 8 over there. But the clock will run.
23, Chris Wright.
Timeout, Jax State. Kirby again. He'll tuck it. Now the thing about Montrezl, he won't still look to throw. He'll tuck it, so you know he's going to run it there.
He will, but the bad thing about that is he's in the middle of the field, has no chance to get to the sideline, so Jax State has to use their final timeout. A couple of more scrambles like that, and Jax State's just going to run out of time. They cannot afford to do that. Kirby's going to have to unload the ball if he doesn't have anything downfield.
They'll need some extra bleach for these uniforms. Those were white when the day began. 3rd down and 8. And they'll go for it. It's 2-down territory for them.
Georgia 14, Florida 10.
Samford 17-14 over Jax State. 1 minute, 6 seconds to go. The football at the 33. Scott Griffin, Colin Hunto here with you on ACN Sports. Another great job by the crew today, giving you all the super replays and the super camera work that they do. And Anthony Early and the boys, nice job again, guys. 3rd and 8. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers set. Kirby drops back, almost got beheaded, does get wrapped up there.
And that's a huge play, because look at that clock. It is running. Nothing Jax State can do. They can't kill the clock. You see good heat there. Colin Harris, James Taylor, and Brett Bishop. Everybody in on that sack. That's just a great rush by the entire defensive front.
Taylor with his 6th sack of the year. 4th and 15. 35 seconds to go. Kirby looking, throws, almost picked off. What a great play by Jason Long. He had the pick to ice it last week against Troy State. And that's a linebacker laying out to make that play. That's beautiful.
That is.
What a play by Long, and great camera work again. Langdale will give him a big hug. A lot of guys will give Long a big hug. That's a beautiful play. Joe Ackland there has made some big plays. Jason Long, Taylor Whitaker, the whole defense has played very well, and he's upset he didn't have his 3rd interception of the year.
Well, he wants to pick, but that's a great play to knock that ball down to give Samford the football. Now they can simply kneel down one time, the game's over with.
1st and 10. Rackley will just take a knee. And that'll probably do it. It will do it. Aaron Bryant celebrating. And Samford against adversity. Look at Aaron Bryant dancing at midfield. Throw a flag now, who cares?
Well, that's a huge win. It wasn't pretty, but it's a win.
Not.
It's a win. That's all that counts.
Pete Hurt congratulating Mike Williams. And Williams a tough year for him, but his team is not a 1-17 by any stretch of imagination. It's very good, and he's a good football coach, and they will build a program, I would think, nicely in Jacksonville State.
Oh, yeah. They're running an offense that's really not geared to the type athletes that they have. They have a bunch of guys that were recruited for a wishbone, and they're doing quite well. They'll be a force to be reckoned with in a not too distant future.
We'll take a break. The Bulldogs win it. They were even their record at 4-4. 17-14 the final. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you doth love me most, Goneril?
Sir, I love you more than word can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty.
Regan, speak.
She comes too short. I find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness love.
Now, what shall Cordelia speak?
I brought unto you a treasure of Coca-Cola, colder than a witch's extremities.
You rule, my fairest daughter.
One has a swing that is breathtakingly simple. Another is wickedly precise. One is a ferocious competitor. Another is an artist. About the only thing they have in common is a love for the game and their Rolex timepieces.
Rolex watches from Bromberg's, Birmingham and Montgomery.
What's on your mind right now? Finding time to get to the bank shouldn't be. AmSouth now. It's banking 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Can you imagine having a checking account anywhere else? Come by or call us anytime at 1-800-AMP-SOUTH to open a relationship checking account, and we'll throw in $100 worth of free stuff. Relationship checking with $100 worth of free stuff from the relationship people, AmSouth Bank.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field, Cyber Stadium. It almost looks like Green
Lambeau Field, doesn't it, about December.
It's tore up and sludge everywhere, but you won your second straight game in this stuff. You guys might want to become ugly ducklings or something. You like playing in there?
Well, we may need to. What it does is we don't have any speed, and then nobody has any speed when you get out here. But no, it's the second straight week, and there's nothing you can do about the weather. But maybe we ought to change our nickname to the Ducks or something. But no, it was a heck of a win for us. I knew it was going to be a struggle coming into the ball game because I knew Jacksonville was too good for us just to go out there, and particularly in this type of weather, to just run all over them. And I want to give credit to Mike Williams and his staff. They're sitting there 1-6 coming into this ball game, and I thought their kids played extremely well.
Now, let's talk about some key factors in this game. First of all, an extra point from 36 yards to tie it. Then you come down and run it on 3rd and 5 on an option. Not that that was a conservative call, but did that give you confidence, the extra point, to kick that field goal?
Well, we thought about a couple of things, either throw it, and we didn't want to lose yardage on it, and they were in a blitz situation, and that was one of our blitz checks to the option versus their blitz, and from where I looked like maybe had he pitched it early, he may have scored a touchdown, but that was something that didn't really factor into it. We had something called, and then they showed a certain blitz, and so that was one of our checks to it, and Jake got us into it, and thank goodness he went the right way this time because he didn't earlier in the ball game.
But the defense was spectacular. Kirby averaging 260 yards coming into the game, throwing 6th in the country. You hold him to 102.
Well, I tell you, I thought our defense just played tremendously well today, and they came up after big play after big play. They held them down on 4th and 1, and where we got a little mixed up on their substitution. We thought they were sending 2 tight ends in the ball game, and we were going with a 2 tight end defense, but the kicker kind of got in the huddle a little bit late, and so we didn't have the right personnel on there, and I really thought we messed up when we had to use a timeout, and then they came back and went for it. But I give our kids credit. They came up with a play, and I thought that was huge, and I thought in the first half, I think it was, we came in and out of the dressing room so many times today, I'm not real sure what was what, but when we threw the interception and then defensively we stepped up and made some plays and held them again. And so, I thought our defense, kept us in the ball game. We struggled a little bit offensively, particularly in the 3rd quarter, I think, gosh, that was just awful. Yep. Just about everything bad that could happen went wrong in the 3rd quarter. That's a good thing I emphasized 3rd quarter all week, wasn't it? We were even worse, so maybe I overcoached the 3rd quarter this week. But I thought our kids showed some character, and some guys over the sideline didn't panic, and defense hung in there and kept making plays, and I knew we were just 2 or 3 plays away on offense, and we came up with what we needed.
And finally that play happened. Rackley to Pointer, who got behind the defense, made a great play, and then rushing the football, 173 net, and it seemed like you were wearing them down, and we're seeing that a little bit. Your offensive line's starting to really gel and wear people down.
Well, I think they are, and if we come in the 3rd quarter and we don't turn it over down there, we hit the long pass to Salter and he fumbles it, and then we get it over again, and then we fumble it, and then we made a mistake on defense. I can't really fault James Taylor. We were in punt safe, and if he felt like he could block it, and that's just something that it's hard to fault the guy for trying to make a play, and that led to their 2nd touchdown, and offensively we just shot ourselves in the foot a ton today. We seemed like we'd take 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards at times, but we came up with enough plays down the stretch, and I want to say about Jared Cook too, and James Carr. We were sitting coming in this ball game 1 for 9 in field goals, and gosh, to kick an extra point from 36 yards to tie it, and then to kick a field goal to win it, that's big, and hopefully that'll give us some confidence.
It certainly will. And finally, 31 years the last time a Samford team has beat Jax State and Troy State in the same year. I don't know if you realize that.
Well, I know they hadn't played every year during that time, but it's certainly nice to have a season where where you've beaten your two big in-state rivals in 1 year, and then we've done it back-to-back weekends. And credit goes to our assistant coaches and our players for doing a good job. And our seniors have come up, Scott Knox and Billy West and Ben Stewart and Jake and Joe Ackland. They've hung in there, and I think they've worked really hard since the break to try to show some leadership, and I think that's paid off for us.
We'll go get dry. Good luck.
Okay.
And good job there. Pete Hurt, 4-4 now on the year. They'll go on the road to take Tennessee Martin. Let's look at some of the numbers as we bring Colin Hutto in. I think we have the graphics for those. First downs, Samford 17-10. Again, rushing the football, 12 of those. Yards gained, 231 for Samford rushing. They end with 173 to JSU's 94. But the big numbers, besides rushing, they hold Montressa Kirby to 147 passing the football. What a key. And we saw big plays by Joe Ackland, Jason Long laying out here for the almost the interception at the end, and just Buchanan with an interception and a knockdown. Terrific secondary play and front four play.
No question. You didn't see but a couple of sacks, I believe, maybe two. The defensive front did get pressure, didn't quite get to Kirby and make the sack, but you did see very good pressure from the defensive front. But you also saw great play by the secondary. We talked about Buchanan's role in this game, going from making a ton of tackles like he did last week, making 22 tackles, makes several big plays with interception, knocks a couple of passes down. You saw the secondary step up. I know Coach O'Toole is really proud of those guys because you had a big threat here. This was a big challenge for that secondary to play a good game. A guy that throws the ball 42 times a game, and that, the gauntlet was laid down for that secondary, and they came through big. They played a good game.
And the offense had their problems, but made plays when they had to. Again, Jake Rackley, who had some bad pitches in the game, but then makes a play, rolls right, throws a perfect strike to Pointer to give the go-ahead touchdown.
That's exactly right, and that's what you expect from a senior. Jake has not played a great deal of football up until his fifth senior year, but you see the leadership that he has. He hits a wide-open receiver, rolling out, making something happen. On a broken play, he's rolling to his right on the run, throws the ball about 40 yards for the touchdown. But that's what you expect out of Jake. He kept his cool. He kept that team under control. He kept that young offensive unit cool, also with the leadership from those two seniors on the offensive line. And they did not lose their composure when they very well could have.
And how big an advantage is it recruiting-wise? Troy State, Jax State, teams that have beaten Samford the last few years sometimes, but here all of a sudden you beat them in the same year. It's got to help because you go head-to-head with them with a lot of players.
Well, that's exactly right. Recruiting is sales. You have to have something to pitch when you go in to recruit. This is something that these guys, the coaches, when they go into those kids' homes, they say, hey, look, we might have been down. We have had some winning years the past couple of years, but we've beaten Jax State. We've beaten Troy State, the other one AA's in the state that are going to be recruiting these kids. They have a selling point now to go into these kids' homes and say, hey, we're a team on the rise. We're beating the in-state rivals. We beat both of them this year, and it's just a good selling point when they are recruiting these young men.
All right, we feel like salamanders out here. 2 straight weeks of rain, but 2 wins, so we won't complain at all. The Bulldogs now 4-4. They'll take on Tennessee Martin on the road next week, so you'll hear that on the radio. Then we'll come back here in 2 weeks, November 15th against Elon College for homecoming, and hopefully the Bulldogs will be heading for a winning season there. Who would have thought that with a 2-4 record just a couple of weeks ago? Thanks to all the guys, ACN staff, Anthony Early, Colin Hutto helping us out here. For Scott Griffin, I'll say so long here from the Lambeau Field-like tundra. The Bulldogs winners again over Jacksonville State, 17-14. We'll talk to you again in 2 weeks, folks. So long, everybody.